Hello, and welcome to Ordem Arcana. I'm your Dungeon Master, Wes Babcock, and I am here with some of my friends to play some Dungeons & Dragons, namely these friends. Ansley, playing
Well,
Riven.
you can't see us.
I know you can't. That's the point.
Oh.
You're my imaginary friend.
The voice.
Seth, playing Oligar, the half-orc paladin.
The hungry one.
The hungry one, yeah. We have Tila, playing Genesis. I can't remember your names. It's like it's been a month since
I was
we
like,
played.
is this where I'm supposed to say my
I
name?
know, right? Playing Genesis, the reanimated human alchemist. And finally, Matt playing... I have your names right here. That would be helpful. I should just do that.
It's like there's characters.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Playing Gendrix, the elven bard.
We're here to relearn D&D.
We're going to learn how to play D&D as if we didn't know how to play already.
Oh, sometimes I forget.
That's true.
That's true.
Just a couple of quick people to thank for some of the cool stuff that they do that make our game more enjoyable and just more cool. First off, Tabletop Audio. Check them out, tabletopaudio.com, for really cool ambiances and sounds and soundboards and all the things that can make your game come to life with audio. Tabletopaudio.com. Really cool site, really cool dude that makes really cool stuff. Also, want to thank Alexis. You can check her out on Instagram and Twitter at Tattoos by Alexis. She did all of our character art, which is absolutely amazing. Check her out. Get some artwork done for yourself. Bring that character of yours to life in a way that only an artist can. So check her out on Instagram at Tattoos by Alexis. Other than that, I don't think we have anything left to talk about, so let's play some fucking D&D.
Yes.
Welcome back. When last we left our heroes, they had ventured into the cogs, the subterranean mines slash sewers slash foundry and smeltery under the city of Sharn, the city of towers, the largest city in Eberron, or in Corvair. And they had fought some ogres and made their way to what appeared to be an ogre settlement deep beneath the city. And the voice of their companion Riven came echoing down a hallway as she joined them from this strange sleep that she had been placed under by weird powders sprinkled over her face by Genesis. And she said, I finally found you guys. It's not good. And as
That's
she
exactly
said,
what I said.
several ogres
You forgot the cardio part.
there was a good bit of montage cardio.
Yeah.
And the ogres
Heavy breathing.
made their way after Riven down the tunnel. The party fought the ogres and dispatched them, and the head ogre, Molbog, who they had been sent down to deal with and bring his head back, emerged from the small settlement and gave the party fight, and eventually they dispatched him and cut his head off and found some neat treasures in his small settlement and convinced the other ogres by holding up Molbag's head to not be douchey ogres anymore. And they kind of tore down Molbag's tent and walked away, which you took to be a good sign that they were going to be less douchey. Who knows how long that'll last? They are ogres. But for now, the party has... Go ahead. The problem with playing D&D on Thursday night, because we all just got off of work. But eventually the party made their way back up out of the cogs and went and sold off some of their goods that they had found, didn't sell off other goods, went and spoke with Professor Pierre Lecerf at Morgrave University and got a little bit of an upgrade to Sir Gilliam, Riven's puppet, and also learned some neat alchemy tricks, which I still haven't given to Genesis, but she will have some neat alchemy tricks in the future to fool around with. as part of her wild alchemy, weird sorcerer class that we made for her. But eventually, Riven, feeling compelled, for some reason, done only to her, to help these folks at this brothel, another job that Oligar had received from Theron, another person that, or another human actually, that bears the mark of finding, as Oligar does, made their way down to Sharn's welcome. And as they entered this brothel called the Harbor Nymph, they began speaking with the matron of the establishment, and a beautiful woman in her early 20s walked down the stairs and exclaimed, "Riven?" And that is where we will pick up.
Guys, it's me, showtime.
Yeah.
In action.
Riven,
You are-
someone recognized you.
I'm gonna like try to hide behind Oligar.
Yeah, so you're in this, it's a small sort of tavern. At least the bottom floor doesn't appear to be a brothel. There are several patrons sitting at tables eating. There's a barman serving drinks and food from a bar. You do see one female, appears to be human, walking around serving tables and things like that. But yeah, so you try to hide behind Oligar.
Yeah.
I'll take a table.
The woman walks down the stairs and walks up to Oligar and just sort of peers around his shoulder and goes,
I kind of look away.
"Are you?" She sort of looks at you and says, "Are you? Is your name not Riven? You look familiar. Perhaps I've mistaken you for someone else."
Yeah.
I know you as Riven.
I was gonna have you make a deception check, but she was, "Oh, you may not." She was, "Can I speak to you in private, please?"
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Like sneak off the private, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. She takes you back upstairs just to one of the small rooms, and she opens the door and sits down on the end of the bed.
Do you need assistance? That sounds wrong in here. I don't. Do you have more to say here? I don't.
Let's just sit down. We'll get a table and we'll wait for her to return.
Meanwhile, I'm just walking upstairs. My head just turns all the way around.
You walk upstairs and follow her, and I said she's sitting on the end of the bed in like the first bedroom there at the top of the stairs, and we'll come back downstairs before we get to that. The matron of the house, this elderly half elf, but still very much like a Dame Helen Mirren kind of thing. She's definitely older, but still has a lot of her looks. She just sort of looks and says, "Oh, welcome to the Harbor Nymph. Would you care for any dinner this evening? What brings you to our establishment? You appear to be a bit out of sorts for our normal clientele."
Well, I would say we're here on business, but I'm sure my friend is hungry.
I mean,
Of course, we can
I
supply.
think we have some waiting to do, so might as well.
He says, "Of course. What do we have? We do have a roast pork with succulent vegetables, and we also have a braised quail served with potatoes."
I'll have the quail and wine, please.
Very well. What type of wine would you be interested in?
Ooh, red.
Okay. Would you prefer a grape varietal or a berry varietal?
I think I would like a berry.
Very well. And for you, sir?
The pork,
Very well. Anything to drink?
not wine.
We have ale, milk. We have beer.
Milk.
Very well. And for you, ma'am?
Nothing for me.
Oh, very well. Should you wish, we do not have any entertainment this evening of the musical variety. Our bard has been called away to another establishment. Of course, this time of
We
year.
have entertainment.
How unfortunate for your bard.
She goes, I do know you do have an instrument, but I didn't want to presume. She goes, if you would be willing to perform a bit this evening, we could, of course, have meals on the house.
That would be wonderful. I'll say.
She goes, of course, have your meal first.
Oh yes, well thank you very much. I suppose I could play a few songs. She's right.
He knows Peg Leg Annie.
Oh, well, We prefer something a bit more cultured here, but should the clientele wish it later in the evening, perhaps?
If it gets a little raucous, we'll play some dancing music, and otherwise we'll play some relaxing music.
Of course. Thank you.
Jazz.
So she heads off to the kitchen, and you see the man behind the counter. She tells him, and he heads off back into the kitchen and begins preparing your meals, you suppose. Upstairs, Riven. As you walk in, the woman sits there. She goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you." And she changes. Flat gray skin, silver hair that's done up in pigtails. And you recognize this person. Her name is Dox, or their name is Dox. You don't know if Dox is a male or a female.
Word, I remember where I met this person? Or...
Yeah, Dox was a pretty terrible actor in your family's troupe. Roughly your age. She says, "I'm sorry, I didn't know. Why did you leave? I mean, I assume your friend said that your name was Riven. Is that correct?"
Yes.
She says, "Why did you leave the Reaches? Did your family have a bad harvest, or did you just?"
I had decided to pursue magics, and I kind of like throw out my puppet.
Oh, she says, "Oh, interesting." She says, I do remember you having a certain keenness for little creations like that when you were a child, or when we were. I'm only a year or so older than you, I suppose. But yes, I left the troupe. I was not much of an actor. I thought I would come here to the city and find something new, and well, many of my kind, many of the family, as you may remember, were changelings, and this is a fair way to make a living with that ability. So, just but tell me tell me of your travels. Tell me what has brought you to this city, other than magic, of course.
Well, there was a boat that flew in the sky, an airship,
Ooh,
and it was taken by pirates, and then I was thrown into another one, and then we ended up here.
I see. Oh. What brings you what brings you to this establishment?
Well, we were investigating some issues going on.
She goes, "Oh, you must be speaking of the attacks."
Would she not know, or she doesn't know what happened, does she?
Well, as you say that, you see her form doesn't shift at all, but you see she obviously shifted it away to not be there, but now she's, for what best you can tell, has dropped like any pretense. Like, this is what she actually looks like. And you can see there's like a massive clawed hand scraped across her face. And you can see, I mean, it's not festering or anything, but it's not like it hasn't healed. It's still like almost like a weeping sore of this massive, what appears to be a claw that's scraped across her face. It says, "Yes, I was a few nights ago. I was attacked."
Well, do you know what you were attacked by?
I don't know specifically. I know that it was a very bestial man of some kind. I didn't catch a good look. I was in a room a few doors down. There was another girl who was attacked there just last night.
Would I would know that she couldn't transform into anything like beast form wise, wouldn't I?
I mean, you figure. Give me an Arcana check. 18. Yeah, I mean, you would know that it's possible to take on the form of just about any humanoid. You obviously couldn't turn into like.
So it is a humanoid, is what I'm trying to.
Yeah. So
Okay,
you couldn't turn into like a wolf.
Yeah.
Like a quadrupedal beast, for instance. But yeah, like a shifter or a werewolf or something like that, you could definitely take on that kind of a look.
Do you remember what he looked like?
Says I didn't get a good look. All I know is there was a patron that sought my services for a time, and I brought him up to the room that I normally use, and he was very quiet and almost nondescript. But then a hole opened, and this creature jumped through and caught me by surprise. I was able to run, and when I went and found Madame Duskridge, we came back up. The patron had disappeared, and whatever had attacked me had vanished back through the hole in the wall.
Do you mind showing me who that patron is?
I haven't seen him this evening, but I could point him out to you were he to come in later. As I said, he was very very standard-looking human.
Standard looking human.
Is that so? That's what brings you and your friend. Are you inquisitives of some sort?
We're trying to figure out what this thing is.
I see. Well, I mean, I'm more than willing to help. It's I must say it's such a small world to actually see someone from my childhood here. It is very strange. Could I ask you a question?
Yes.
I had a friend when I was with the family, and we don't know what happened to her. She disappeared one day.
Your friend is?
Well, she was like me. She went by the name Mars. I don't know if that was the name she chose or the name her parents gave her, but she was, whenever we would stop, she always spoke of you. She seemed to be very good friends with you.
Suddenly I go quiet and like my face goes blank for a second. Not like blank, but like I go
Right,
pale.
right.
And I'm like, let me sit down. Where can I sit down?
There's like a chair.
I'll sit down in the chair. It's been a while since I've heard that name. I don't know what happened to her either.
I see. She disappeared one day. Her family was quite distraught. I was just, we never knew what happened to her. I had kind of foolishly, I guess, thought that I would run into her. Maybe she had just decided that the life of a traveling performer was not for her. But if perhaps she left you as well, I suppose.
I mean, all I had was the family and the farm.
Well, anyway, why don't we head downstairs, get you something to eat, and perhaps if we see this patron come in, I can point him out to you.
Very well. And
And
this whole
she,
kind of time I'm like, you know.
Yeah, she assumes the form of the woman again, and walks downstairs.
I am Lord. Lordy, Lordy, Lord. Yeah.
One of the serving girls comes out, brings out the 2 plates of food, big pitcher of milk in a glass, like a tall flute of a purplish, like deep purple, almost like reddish purple sort of wine that, as you swirl around, is a bit viscous. Sits it down in front of you.
Viscous.
I have a little sniff of it and sip and... Oh, Riven. Everything okay?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
ordered you some potatoes.
Really? Where are they at?
Said there'd be a moment.
Eventually a plate comes out that has a mix of, it has these like sliced scalloped potatoes that are covered in like a cream sauce, and also the roasted vegetables. There's no meat on the plate. And he just sits and goes, the elderly one of the matrons says, your friends seem to think that you would be more inclined to having both of the sides and none of the entrees. And she just sets it down in front of you. She says, would you like anything to, they did not order you a drink.
Water, please.
Water, of course.
Trying the milk.
It's milk.
Do you drink milk?
I'm lactose intolerant.
That's new. What's that like?
You see the woman that she went upstairs with to talk to is sitting at the bar. She's wearing this like very, strangely enough, for this like little shitty bar, like the 3 women that you see walking around are wearing ridiculously elegant clothing, like the gathered at the neck, very deep cut of showing the shoulders, long gowns. She's just sat up at one of the bars. She's got her arm back on the bar with her hands just sort of curly, and her legs crossed, and the dress slits very high up the side.
Your friend is quite attractive.
That's okay.
I'm just making conversation. You've been quiet since you've come down.
So, it appears that one of the patrons
Patreon.com/ordermarcana.
Yeah.
Tell me, what has the Patreon done?
opened a portal and a humanoid beast-looking thingy came out. So we're looking for that dude and a humanoid beast-looking thingy.
A portal.
Did she say she would point this person out to you?
Yes, she did.
Okay, well, I suppose we're in as good a place as we could be then.
Apparently he's quiet and weird.
The matron comes over. She says, "So, what does bring you to my establishment this evening? I know you said that you were here for food. Your friend, obviously, no. You were looking. Was there? As I said, you are somewhat overdressed for this establishment. I speak. Our patrons are normally not so." And she kind of sort of points at her ridiculous finery, but.
We've come to inquire about your recent attacks on your ladies of the night.
I understand. Well, about a week, it's been maybe 10 days now, one of our girls, who is actually a legitimate human and not a changeling, many of my girls are, you understand, of course, it is quite a beneficial ability to have for a woman in this profession.
I'm a living fantasy.
Of course, yes. I am actually a half elf, but anyway, we found her dead the next morning. Apparently, she was like. Anyway, we closed for a day to let everyone grieve, and when we reopened, everything seemed fine for a few days. And she gestures to the girl sitting at the bar. She says, Mariel was attacked 2 nights ago. Somehow she managed to escape. When we went back up, there was no one there. There was a large hole in the wall, just a gaping hole. But then an hour later, it closed of its own accord. And then last night, we heard a scream, we heard a noise, and one of my other girls, Amara, was taken. She was nowhere to be found. And the same thing, the hole in the wall, a pile of dust on the floor.
Is this hole in the same place every time?
It's on the same side of the building. I don't know if it's in exactly the same place or not.
Did you take any of the dust?
No, I did not.
Is there some still left?
Perhaps, yes.
I would like to see it.
Okay. She says, "Oh, of course. Well, I can show you upstairs if you would like."
Yes. I would listen to the rest of your story, and then
Well,
I can
there's
follow you.
that pretty much brings us up when Amara was taken. She, both Mariel and Amara, they're both changelings.
Do I know what a changeling is, or I just heard of them? Or?
Yeah, I mean, they're the standard race. There's a pretty prominent saying. It's like, it's not if changelings live here, it's if they let you know.
So I probably would have ran across one at some point, or.
You may have. Yes, you have definitely run across a changeling. Whether you knew it was one or not, you don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you met one before.
Yep.
Never one that
someone
revealed
Yeah,
itself.
one thing that you do specifically know about changelings is that they are. It's not some sort of a magic. Well, it is magic, but it's not a disguise. It's not anything like they literally change into a different form.
Okay.
Like everything about them becomes different.
Yeah,
Physically.
boy.
So, but so she'll lead you up to. It's the far corner room.
Okay.
On my left.
Decent?
Yeah.
That one.
And the hole appears on the wall at the foot of the bed.
Decent?
Mm-hmm.
Or decent? Decent.
Yeah, inside the room, yeah. And you do see that there is a small. It's been ground into the carpet a little bit, but there is like this grayish brown, like very fine, almost powder.
I'm gonna can I investigate it to see if I know what it is? Or
You can give me an Arcana check
okay.
I want to see if there's anything else in the room.
in the downstairs, or did
No.
you go up?
I went up, yeah.
Okay.
I'm up there with the...
What'd you roll?
I got a 10.
A 10. You're not sure. There's definitely something about it. Like you're pretty sure it's not just like dirt or debris. There's something magical. You just don't know what it actually is.
Debris.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna take some with me. Maybe I can look at it and be able to tell what it is.
Of course. If it would help you figure this out, I would not stop you.
And I'll like grab one of like my thousands of little things and
Yeah.
whatever, and
Yeah,
I'll
you
collect
can,
some.
Yeah, you pull out like a little mini spatula and scoop a little bit into a small vial and put it away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's signs of anything else in the room.
Okay, yeah, give me either perception or investigation.
Fucking great, guys.
Wow.
Fucking doing it right, guys. That's 1, 4,
I didn't help us, dice.
7. No, you
A
didn't.
7
Yep.
looks like a room in an inn.
I was staring at her like picking up dust. I don't know why you're picking up dust.
Well,
She just had to study it.
we don't know what it is, but I could, and I just go on this like long tangent of like all the things that it could possibly be, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the matron just sort of looks. She goes, "Well, that is quite interesting. Perhaps if you could narrow that down a bit and let me know what your thoughts are, that would be helpful."
I can certainly try. I like to go and do some things with it. I'm not entirely sure, but I could probably find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna
course.
go ahead and walk out now.
Okay. Yeah, she leads you back down to your table. About this time, there's several more patrons that have walked in. Most of the tables are full. The bar has several people like sitting at the stools and like pushing their way towards it. You can see there's a couple of more attractive women and attractive gentlemen that are walking around talking to patrons. And
Yeah, I'll by this time I'm sure I would have maybe finished my meal and gone and found a place to kind of perch up and just start plucking
Yep.
away.
Yep.
Just kind of something instrumental,
Mhm.
and I'll like turn the volume up about 30%.
Okay. It's kind of lively, or
It's
just sort of chill.
Jazz music.
sort of like chill,
Okay.
a little on the upbeat side.
Elevator music.
Okay.
What's on the other side of this wall? Do we know?
Other side of which wall?
The wall that they bust out of.
It looks out over an alleyway. She'll tell you. She's like, "Oh yes, there is an alley that goes along that side of the building." She says, "Actually, this wall here, if you, the kitchen is directly below." And you can see on that building, that part sits on top of this part, and the kitchen extends out.
Like the kitchen is there.
Well, the kitchen is, so the two big squares sit directly on top of each other, if that makes sense.
No.
So this is the bottom floor.
This.
No, all on the middle map. This is different.
This.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. So
So-
this is the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the kitchen. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that floor on the far end sits on top of this floor,
Gotcha.
and then the kitchen doesn't have anything over it. There's a smokestack and chimney and all that kind of
Oh, so if you fell theoretically out of the back of this,
Mhm.
you would fall into the kitchen.
You would land on the roof of the kitchen.
On the roof of the kitchen.
Yeah. It's not open.
Gotcha.
So she told us that Riven's friend was the only one that like saw the creature.
Well, Riven's friend told her that.
Oh, okay.
She did say that she managed to escape from it, and basically came down and like freaked out, bleeding, and
Okay. I was trying to remember what the lady told us. I thought she said one died and one saw it.
she said there is one that died about 10 days ago.
Okay.
There was one that's still here that was attacked, and there's one that was abducted last night.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the guy that I saw walk into the kitchen.
Like the the barman.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's like you can't. There's like a swinging door on the side of the bar, but he's back behind the bar at this point. There's several people crowded around it.
I will push my way into the crowd.
Okay. He is just a humanoid. Says, "All right, just everyone settle down. I'll get you all taken care of." And he's like, "Are you said 2 ales? All right." And he fills those, and he goes to a couple people. He goes, "What about for you, sir?"
Are you the only one working in the kitchen?
Yeah. I mean, I run bar, cook food. I mean, most of the food we prepare it earlier in the day. Just gotta warm it up a bit.
Were you working? Was it last night
The night of the murder.
or the night before?
He's like, I work every night. I mean, this.
You're the only one that works the kitchen ever.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, I've got a little scullion boy that comes in during the day, like in the mornings and cleans. But
All right.
as far as cooking and everything, he's like, yeah, if I'm not here, there ain't no food.
All right. I'll take.
He goes,
a
I
break.
guess Elathra can cook, but she just doesn't because she doesn't need to.
That's
She
fair.
pays me for it.
All right. I'll take a beer.
All right. He grabs a tankard off the wall. Goes up there. You see there are several taps and sits down in front of you. He goes, anything else?
That's it. For
Because
now.
you had the pork, right?
What?
Did you have the pork?
No, I had a milk.
Well, didn't you have some pork too? I remember.
Yeah, pork. I thought you said port.
No, pork
I was like, milk.
with a K.
I had a pork. Caca.
Yeah. Is it good?
It was good.
Good.
I liked it. We'll talk about it later.
All right. Well, anything else I can get for you?
No.
Everyone else seems pretty settled here.
I mean, if like nobody's like pushing around.
Yeah. I mean, you were kind of like the last one. Everyone
Oh,
seems.
okay.
There are still people sitting like at the bar, but
Because I mean, if he's like super busy.
yeah, he
you
seems
know,
like he's.
I don't
Like,
wanna- I don't
he's
wanna
like
interrupt his
he's like
work.
picked up a rag and is cleaning
He's
the
like
glass.
it's like a busy man,
No.
interrupts his day job,
Yeah, he's just
his
cleaning
night
glass.
job. Now I lost my train of thought. This is why I lose all my quarries. I just can't.
He just kind of
remember
just. I mean, you're asking me if I'm the only one who works here. Like,
Yeah, so the room where that woman got abducted is right above your
he
kitchen.
just he sort of looks up. He goes, well, he's not right above, but
I mean, close enough.
yeah.
They
I
could have
mean,
jumped out of whatever hole they made and landed on your kitchen.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably.
Were you working? Did you hear it?
I mean, I didn't hear anything. I did notice, strangely enough, the last 2 nights. He goes, there's like a little, like side street bar across the way. It's just like basically literally a bar, and they just serve drinks on the street. But I did see I think they were. I can't be sure, but it looked like you met them shifter folk. You know what I'm talking about? A little bit pointy ears, a little bestial, furry.
Oh yeah, I've seen some.
You know, they could have been. I mean, they could have been different ones. I'm not sure. A lot of people move through this area. We're right by the harbor, but I think last night and the night before, when Dox and Zero were attacked, I'm pretty sure that I saw the same 2 guys out there on my way into work.
You know what they look like?
Yeah, I mean, one of them was a big old brute, big hairy mane of hair around his head. Both of them just, the other one was a little bit smaller, a little bit more cat-like. I don't know if that's the best way I can describe it. The other one was dog-like, wolf-like, big hulking fella.
Interesting.
I mean, I could just be being paranoid. I mean, I don't know, but
I mean,
it
times
seemed
like these, it happens.
it seems like they were watching the nymph, And like I said, it could just be my imagination. But
Well, we'll see. Appreciate the info.
sure.
I'll just walk off.
All right.
Walk back to whatever table.
As I'm playing, I'm going to kind of look around and see if anybody or anything sticks out and catches my eye.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Come on, perception. Wow.
Nice.
6.
6.
We
I
all
mean, you
just
see
rolling
some
ones
people
tonight?
coming and going. You see people heading upstairs with different people who look like maybe they work here. Like, you're starting to get the sense like people that are dressed really, really nice, other than y'all, work here.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll just
Is this
keep
a
playing.
hookery?
Keep my eye on stuff.
Am I still kind of like following the madam?
I mean, did you want to keep following her around?
I don't know where we're trying to listen.
Or did you want to go back to your table?
I just assumed we were like walking downstairs together. The
Yeah, I
floor was
mean, yeah,
pulled off.
once y'all left the room, she would have gone back to doing her business. I mean, you could continue following her if you wanted to.
Well, like before she walks
She's doing
off,
business,
I'll
Show me a moves.
new. Did the one that saw the creature, is she around?
Just, oh yeah, of course. That's She points to the one that's at the bar.
Okay. Okay. And I sort of like swallow really hard, and then I'll like walk over there towards her.
Okay. She's just, oh, good evening.
Hello.
Are you with Riven?
And I try to like point Riven out.
She goes, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I see her over
Do
there.
I see them talking?
Probably,
You
yeah.
probably saw like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. I'm gonna start to get a little worried, have a worried look on my face.
I still have my like goggles on. The creature that that attacked you. Can you describe it to me? And I like take out my book with like the pencil, like I'm gonna sketch it.
Okay, she's like, I mean, like I told Riven, I didn't really get a good look at him. I went into the room, did what I would normally do, walked over to the
In the
side
middle of
table.
all this, I'm kind of like edge my way up to the conversation.
Okay. She's like, I went up to the side table, started taking my jewelry off and putting it in the lockbox, and when I turned around, there was a hole in the wall, and there was a guy there, and like as soon as I turned around, he just attacked me, and I mean, I don't know how I managed to escape. I mean, I slipped out of his grip. Thankfully, I had unlocked the door, and I managed to kind of get between the guy, the patron that had brought me up. I managed to get kind of between him. He almost went stock still once this started happening, and I managed to bolt out the door.
So you weren't aware of how tall, or
He was taller than me.
I kind of like
I mean, he was-
like take little
He was
notes.
furry, really hairy. Maybe he had like a snout. I'm not 100% sure.
And was there a flash of light or anything behind you before the hole appeared?
Not that I remember.
Well, I think you're very lucky. I was told that a lot of people were scarred very badly. At least
Well-
that's what we heard.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't escape that fate, but I can do something about it. So
Oh, so you're changeling?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's it. Thank you. And I just like really awkwardly like run off.
Okay. You walked up at some point during that.
Yeah.
As she finishes talking to Jen, she just looks at you and goes, "She's a little different."
Yeah, that's why I came up here to make sure.
I mean, she
Freaking
was
you
just
out.
she was just trying to figure out what happened, I guess.
Let's go with
She just looks at you, like just kind of like it's just weird. Like, small world, I guess.
that. Very true. I did forgot to ask. How's Mars family doing?
I mean, I left like 2 years ago. Her dad was still, running the acrobats and that kind of a thing. You know how he was. He was always trying to find new, crazy acts to, they run the same circuit every year. Eventually, it's going to get stale if they don't do something new. But her mom was, writing new plays, I think. When I left. I wasn't ever really that good.
I mean, doesn't mean that you wouldn't know of them and you wouldn't have spent time with them.
That's true. There's several families in that caravan. So.
So are they still in Elder's Reach?
When I left, they didn't seem to have any intention of leaving. They've carved out a pretty good life there, the troop. So.
And I just kind of shake my head. Old people. Stuck in their ways.
Yeah, well, they've worked hard for it. it would be scary to pick up and do something new. I mean, it was scary for me, even though I wasn't, I mean, I knew I was never going to be successful. I was always going to be kind of a drain. I'm actually fairly good at this.
That's fair. Well, if you do find Mars, just let me know. And I kind of like walk off awkwardly.
As you're playing, you kind of a couple of things happen at the same time. The door opens and this man in sort of a just kind of a dun brown coat with like short hair that's parted on the side. Nothing special, no high collar, just the plainest dude you could imagine. Just sort of walks in and sits down at one of the long tables where there's several people and just sort of sits there. As that happens, you're finishing up with speaking with Morella, and she sort of looks at you and goes, that guy that just walked in, that's not him, but other than the facial features, everything about him is exactly the same. Just the nondescriptness of him all.
And I kind of look over to that direction. Like, does he look nondescript? I don't know what nondescript looks like.
There you go. Like, he looks.
He doesn't stick out.
Yeah.
He's blurry.
No,
He's censored.
Like he has features, but he's not ugly nor is he handsome. He's plain. His hair isn't long, it isn't short. He's not tall, he's not short. Everything about him is very much like when you're creating your character in Skyrim, every slider's in the middle on this guy. There's literally nothing special about him. He just looks like a dude.
Him like a man.
Oh yeah.
Like his clothes are not brightly colored.
I'm going to turn back to her. So this is the type of people that conjured the thing you speak of?
No. That's the guy that approached me and, asked for my services. And I took his coin and I deposited it with the house and I took him upstairs.
So he just approached you?
Well, I mean, that's what happens here.
Well, I mean, specifically you.
Well,
Like, did anything happen before the interaction? Did he access?
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I don't pay attention to who all's in here. There are some establishments like this where the girls have to work really hard. Or maybe there's just girls who have to work really hard. I don't know. I don't have to work hard. She says, if I look a certain way and no one seems interested, I go upstairs, look a different way, and come back down. And if no one's interested, I can change until I find what someone is interested in. It's not...
Looking back at her, what does she look like? You said she was a half elf, correct?
No. Right now she looks human.
Okay.
The lady that runs the place is a half elf.
Okay.
Yeah, right now she looks human. She's got sort of an olive, like Mediterranean looking complexion. She's got like this slightly tilted almond shaped eyes. She's got long black hair that's flowing in curls like down past her shoulders. She's got on this dress that is cut scandalously deep. You can see like all of her shoulder.
So what did you look like on the night that it happened?
She was probably mostly like this. Maybe the hair was a different color. She's like, I'm sort of keen on the sort of darker skin complexion. She's normally, gray, so.
Would we have gathered descriptions from the other girls, like what they look like before they?
Like what the other girls look like?
Yeah.
You didn't ask.
You wouldn't happen to know what the other girls look like too, as well. Is there like a pattern among like the complexion?
Just the girl Anara. She looks a little bit like. She had a darker skin, but she didn't have. She just had sort of plain hair. I think Zir might have actually been looking similar to this.
Interesting. When I look around, do I see any of the other girls who look kind of like her? So it's only just her. Where is everybody at? I know that are you still playing?
Yeah, I've been kind of like casing back and forth in front of the staircase.
I'm probably just like maybe wandered off to sit at a table.
I'm
and I'm kind
chilling
of just observing.
at the table that we had.
So I guess, are you at the random table, or are you chilling at the table that he was
Yeah,
at?
if he was sitting down, then
Okay.
I would have gone to his table.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna kind of like give me one moment, and I'm gonna walk over to Genesis. So it appears that most of the girls had dark hair and kind of darkish skin. So there could be a pattern among how they look, of which one this person might prefer.
Well, we should watch people that look like that tonight then, maybe?
That is the only idea that I have.
Well, how was it that you were able to look like the professor that one time? Could you do that again?
No,
Well, pity.
it was a little trick I learned.
Well, your friend, she's very, very beautiful. Maybe watch her. If he likes that sort of thing.
Do we see like the man do anything? Is he just
Right now, he's just sitting. They've brought out, like, someone had went over and brought him food and drink. He's just currently eating.
How will we know who to look for?
Well, it's that man over there who doesn't look like anything except a man.
That one? And I
The-
sort of like point him out.
The very plain man.
Do I see them pointing at a person?
Who's hopefully not looking directly at us.
Well,
Is he wearing like a coat? You
Yeah.
said he was wearing like a fur coat?
No, it's just like a brown coat, similar to the one that Gendrix wears, but the lapels of it, or not lapels, the tails of it, probably only go down like midway down his thigh.
Can I like try to get your attention, I guess? And if you look like directly at me, I'll kind of like.
So is
I
he
was
like
about to say,
elegant
if I-
dress, or is it like common dress?
Who?
The dude.
Him. You've been with Gendrix enough now that he probably has explained, like, social clothing hierarchy. The longer the tails on a man's coat and the more they flare out, the more high class it is. So you would assume that this guy with like a very short tail on his coat is
Low class?
Yeah. pretty.
If I look mid-falutin, he's low-falutin.
Yeah. I mean, the tail of Gendrix's coat goes all the way to the ground.
I look good.
And probably you've seen it up close. It has like this, like built into the sewn, like the stitching of it. It has these like vertical stitchings that separate it into panels. It has this almost like whalebone, like structure to it, and he can sort of like, you're not sure exactly how he does it, but he can basically make it flare out and be stiff, or he can just have it fall limp.
you can get a stiffy.
Yeah, you need that when you're playing sometimes.
That's fair.
And you can see right now, like while he's walking around playing, it's a bit obtrusive to the crowd in here because he's got this thing just flared out.
How long has he had that flared out?
Since he started playing.
Do you think we should tell him he kind of looks stupid?
I'm peacocking. I've made my way over to the table now because I saw
But
him
you
this
see, like,
morning.
especially when you, like earlier today when you were up in the upper wards, you saw tons of people with coats like this.
Yeah, well, I'm from the farm, so.
Yeah. They're saying like you, today especially, you saw tons of men with coats like this.
Oh, hi, Gendrix.
Hi. Yeah, and I'm still like playing, but I'm
Sure,
trying
yeah.
to keep my voice like down. But like, who are you pointing at?
That man, and I'll
Very
try to like
non-
wait till he's not looking at me at all.
The
He's
very
looking at his
nondescript
food.
Man
Okay.
in
That
brown.
one right
Yeah,
there.
you overlook him like 3 or 4 times. You're like, where?
Who? Where?
The brown coat. He
The one that looks not ugly, but not ugly.
I think nondescript is the word she's looking for.
Ah, I see him over there. Yes, okay.
He's wearing a poor man's coat, as you so speak it.
Yes, he does. He does have some rather droll fashion sense. Well, I'm going to go over there next to him and play for a moment and see if I can't make any observations about him.
Well, apparently he likes, and I like point at Ribbon's friend. That type. That's what he likes.
Well, he has good taste in women.
You know, we also don't have to do all this pointing. We could just use
I
names.
think they're used to being
and
pointed at.
That's not no.
So you're going over there next to him?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of
So
just
you
like.
sort of walk over to that.
sashay
he's,
over
he's
there.
kind of over by like one of these long tables, sort of where you're at right now.
All right, so let's pick the
That has
table where we're at. I was kind of
a-
like
you guys
walking
are
around over
probably
here.
This one.
Okay, so I'll
So he's
push over
probably sitting at one of these tables, like with a lot of stools around it, like a long bar type table. But you walk. Give me a perception check as you kind of walk up next to him.
Okay. Perception.
No one.
Hey, 19.
Okay, so you notice a couple of things. First off, like on his shoulders and like sort of in his hair, and you can see that there's it looks like he has like this fine dust like all over him, sort of.
Fine dust.
Yeah, but you also notice that he has it's under his coat, but you see a large sort of bulge on the right hand side of his coat that you figure is a rather stout coin purse.
Okay. So I never mentioned this, but when everyone went upstairs, I would have stayed downstairs. So dust means like little to me.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, I'll kind of.
But like with that perception check, like it doesn't look like he's. It looks like this is the very edge of his form, if that makes sense. Like, with that perception check is high enough to imagine a creature made completely of compressed dust,
Okay.
but the very edges of it are going to be sort of flaking off a little bit. That's
Kind of like a dry sandcastle.
yes. That's really the best way I can describe it. And that way, with that perception check, that's what you would notice.
He's flaking.
And I'll kind of get on the back side of him, and I'll still be playing, and I'll look over to you guys and be like,
From where we're sitting, he just looks.
Yeah, you'd have to be up close to notice this particular property.
Okay.
So
Head and shoulders what?
I have another idea that I would like to try to pull off,
Okay.
and maybe it's possible for me to do so. I would like to wait kind of until somebody with a serving tray is walking kind of by his table, and my intention is to try to get whoever is with that serving tray to drop it on him, like to maybe spill some liquids on him.
Okay. So you're gonna try. What? Like, how are you? Are you just gonna hope that happens, or are you gonna try and make it happen?
I'm gonna try to make it happen. Like I'm gonna try to see and like. So I want to try to anticipate her walking by the table, and then I want to kind of be there at the same time, and I guess I'll trip her or
You're
something.
just gonna try and trip somebody.
Yeah,
or-
unfortunately, like trip or like bump into or like
Yeah, you
like
can do
have
that.
like a little flourish or something about the same time that they're and just startle them into.
Sure. Yeah. Eventually, I mean, like it's a bustling trade. It probably takes a few minutes, but somebody does eventually come by with like a platter that has 3 or 4 drinks on it.
Okay, yeah, I'll make my move and kind of get in position.
Okay. Give me just make me an attack roll.
Okay.
Dexterity, of course. I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's finesse what you're trying to do. You know what? Don't call it attack roll. It's let's say acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Okay. Oh,
Or do you want it to not be obvious that you're doing this?
I want it. Well, I mean the fact that it's my fault can be obvious, but I want it to look like it's an accident, genuinely.
Okay, so we'll call it sleight of hand then.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a 23.
Okay, yeah, it was going to happen regardless. It was just how smooth is it? But yeah, so you basically are playing the lute, and you see this girl walk by, and she's got the tray on her hand, and it's almost right over, and you just pop the edge of the tray off her hand while she doesn't even notice it, and she's like, "Oh goodness!" and the drinks spill all over this guy.
Okay.
He gets darker, like you spilled stuff on his clothing.
Okay.
Yeah, he just sort of looks up and goes, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry," and he just kind of goes back to his drink.
Oh wow. Okay.
Did we see all that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was what I was really looking for,
Did
was
you
his
just-
reaction, and yeah, I wanted to see if.
Okay. Eventually, someone does seem to notice this purse, and it's a male elf. You know, similar look to you, but he's got the paler skin. He doesn't have the Mediterranean sort of complexion that you do. He just walks up, and there's an empty seat next to this person, and he just sort of sits down next to him and goes, "Oh, good evening, sir. What brings you to the Harbor Nymph?" And the guy just sort of looks at him and goes, "Not interested," and just turns back. And the guy sort of, okay, stands up, walks away.
What kind of clothing are we wearing? I'm still wearing my traditional.
You're wearing whatever you were wearing.
Okay. I'm gonna reapproach my friend from earlier.
Okay. She says, "Oh, Riffin." She goes, "That guy is really weird."
Yeah, I was wondering, you wouldn't happen to have any clothes that I can borrow, would you?
You look at her and she's she's like maybe a foot taller. She's like 6.5 feet tall. She's a very statuesque woman. She goes, "I mean, I've got plenty of clothing in my wardrobe, but it may be a bit large for you."
Well, I'm 6 feet tall, so I don't know.
Oh, are you 6 feet tall?
Yeah, I'm 6
Okay.
feet tall.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, I mean, it would be a bit too big, but I think, yes, I should have something
I
I can
just
wear."
need something to disguise myself in.
Of course, follow me. What do you have? As she's leading you up the stairs, she sort of leans in conspiratorially. What do you have in mind?
Well, I mean, someone's gonna have to grab his attention. And it looks like he rejected that other dude, so I mean, there's always a chance he could not reject me. I don't know yet.
She just sort of looks. She goes, "I mean, no offense. I don't think that hair is really going to cut it, but I mean, you are. I mean, well, yes, follow me." And she sort of leads you into a room. Yeah, she's got all these gowns that are this same kind of
I
thing.
want the scandalous owl. Scandalous thing.
Okay, so she
Scandalous
pulls
owl.
out a couple of things, and she
I
finally
know.
pulls out this one that is this like emerald green color.
Hell yeah.
And when she holds it up, you can see that
Skankalicious.
basically it's you would pull this on over your head, but then it's gonna cut under the arms, and there's like literally one thing that pulls here, and there's a big diamond cutout that would show quite a bit of cleavage.
Okay, yep, I'm wearing
It's
it.
long flowing. She says it'll probably be a bit long, but I think it's cut that way anyway, so you'll just have sort of a train on it.
I'm fine with that.
She says, "All right, well, I'll make sure no one comes in." She sort of steps out.
Alright, I'm changing into the clothes.
Okay, what do you do with your clothes?
I guess I'm gonna lay them on her bed. Do they use their beds, or like is there like private chambers that they have here?
Oh,
I
they
mean-
use their beds.
Why do they use their
The building
beds?
looks like what you see there. There are 6 bedrooms and then one big bedroom that has the red bedspread on it.
Okay, well I'm gonna put I guess my stuff tucked in somewhere in her wardrobe or somewhere where I can find that would be safe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you can put your stuff back where she was pulling the clothing from.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you put on this dress. What do you look like?
I look scandalous.
No, what do you look like though?
I'm gonna look like a ribbon for right now.
Okay. Sure.
Actually, well no, I can't change specific body parts, can I?
How do you mean?
Like, can I change the color of my hair?
I mean technically yes.
Um,
Like technically you're changing everything, but you're leaving 99% of it the same. So yes, you could just be like, "Oh, I'm going to change my hair to blue." You could do
I'm
that.
gonna change my hair to like a little bit darker,
Okay.
but like not dark enough that she would notice it right off the bat.
Okay.
But like dark enough that he probably could like it.
Okay. She kind of comes back in and, I guess it's something about you, that dress. Wow. Not such a farm girl I see anymore. Well, so what, you're gonna go up and, are you sure about it? Could be dangerous.
Well, someone's gotta do it.
Well, all right. She goes, I mean, I can be the bait if you want me to be.
I'm not putting you in danger. I'll put
Okay.
myself in danger
Okay.
before I put someone else in danger.
She goes, well, do you want to, are you gonna let your friends in on this little plan, or?
I think they'll kind of get the general gist when I go downstairs.
All right, well, do you want me to at least tell them what your plan is, or?
Yes. Inform them of the plan.
Okay. So she comes downstairs ahead of you. You see Riven coming. Her hair's a little bit darker, but you see, and she's wearing this elegant gown, and like you've all been like, like, oh, she's a pretty country girl. No, she's stunningly beautiful in this dress, and you can see it trails on the stairs behind her as she comes down.
Here she comes.
Yeah.
Gendrix is deceptive enough that he kind of has an inkling of what's going on, and he's gonna do like a little like a little sweep on the lute and kind of shoot the last bit of inspiration that he has at Riven.
Okay.
So you got a D6 inspiration.
Docs, because I can't remember what fake name I gave her, comes over to you, Olga, and she says, our mutual friend is about to do something very stupid.
I'm not surprised.
And she like hooks your arm in hers, and she says, "Of course, yes, come with me. It'd be my pleasure."
Okay.
And she leads you upstairs, and she will take you into the room at the end of the hallway with the blue bed.
Okay, so that was,
That one?
which one was
Genesis is just left all by herself.
All right.
this one? This one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still down there with Genesis.
The same
Just
prostitute got both my friends.
And yeah, so you both see this woman take Oligar upstairs.
Interesting.
I just look at you like,
I'll look at you and then I'll cut my eyes up to the top of the stairs. I guess I'm assuming you haven't come down yet.
I mean, I kind of probably by all this time has come down. Yeah, I've come down from the stairs.
So yeah, I'll like cut my eyes at Riven and then I'll cut my eyes back at the dude and just like kind of try to convey to like.
Yeah, you see a fella that's wearing, like, as you come down the stairs, he's wearing just like a tunic that's unlaced, or a tunic, maybe it's tunic, yeah, that's unlaced. You know, he's a little bit of chest hair sticking out. He's got a big thick beard, big baggy breeches. He just says, "Oh, look at you! How much for the night?"
Too much that you can afford, and I keep going down the stairs.
He says, "Oh, well, maybe I'll have to hit somebody up, get a little extra coin." And you are in a dockside brothel.
You're right.
For reference.
I'm gonna go walk up to the bar, and I'm gonna ask him for a shot
Okay.
of something
Yeah,
kind of
he just looks at you and
but-
goes, like the barman says, Did Elathra just hire you?
I'll flip him a coin. Shh. I need a drink.
He says, sure, what do you have? Something strong?
Yes.
All right. And he pulls a bottle out from under,
Give me that good.
pulls the cork out with his teeth, pulls out a small glass, pours it in there, sets it in front of you. He's like, "Oh, all right." And he puts the cork back in, he goes, that should do you just good.
Okay, so I kind of like elegantly like walk over, like you've never seen this elegant walk before. You didn't know I was capable of being so elegant.
Give me an acrobatics check. Just to see how elegant it is.
It's probably tripping on a hill every so
She's
often.
probably so gourmet right now.
We definitely gonna bring that back. Well, that's a 17.
Okay, yeah. I mean, just almost like you're floating.
Oh wow.
And I guess I'm gonna sit down at the table and
Next to the guy.
yeah.
Okay. He just sort of turns his head and looks at you.
So I saw your encounter earlier. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay.
He says, "Oh, with the boy, I'm not interested."
In the boy,
Yes.
perhaps I can interest you.
He sort of turns and looks at you and goes, "I don't like the hair."
What color of hair would you like?
At that, he sort of looks at you and he says, I actually like that just fine.
And I kind of like grab him, I guess, to take him up very slowly. I don't know how any of these things work. And I guess I'm gonna take him up the stairs.
Okay.
I don't know what room I'm gonna take him to. I'm gonna take him to the nearest one that I can see.
He, as you get to the top of the stairs, he says, could we have the room at the far end, please?
Which did they? So it's this room.
That's the one that they went to earlier, yeah.
Okay, so he wants to go to this room.
Mm-hmm.
can I stealthily, like, try to follow behind?
Yeah,
I don't know what the plan is here.
Yeah, both of you. So you wait for them to kind of disappear up the stairs. Give me a stealth check. You can take advantage.
Okay. 17.
Okay.
Ooh.
Stay as close as I can without being seen. So
Okay.
like I'll kind of hide behind corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a 10, but
Okay.
I'm like at the bottom of the stairs finishing my last song. Like
Sure. Yeah.
He's just standing there.
But yeah. So you. So yeah. He just, as you get to the top of the stairs and you're sort of looking around like, where do I go? He says, if the room at the end is empty, he says, I would prefer that one. Give me a perception check, as I'm assuming you're like holding his arm or his hand or something.
Yeah.
who is the guy?
Just pick
That's
somebody.
going to be A 10, because I'm really nervous and I don't know
gonna
what's
be this
going
one.
on.
Use
Because we already
His
know.
palms are sweating.
Okay.
use a
Mom's
skeleton.
spaghetti.
What'd you roll?
A 10.
A 10. Yeah, no, that's good enough. As you're like holding his hand, or maybe he's like your arm is in his or whatever. You notice like he doesn't feel completely solid. Like if you scooped up a handful of dirt or sand at the beach and compressed it tight, it still doesn't. It has that sort of give to it. That's kind of what he feels like.
I have to also ask, where did I put Sir Gilliam's and all this? Would I've...
The last thing you popped about in the front room.
Okay.
Do you still have your gloves on? Because like they're
He was-
definitely like scientific marvels.
Well, no.
He
Okay.
he got popped out like in that
Yeah.
room.
Okay, well, I can't control them anyways.
What have you gotten yourself into?
Yeah, I was like, he
But
doesn't
no,
really
so the room at
see
the
us.
end is also the one that you changed in. So,
Oh,
but that's not where Sir Gilliam is. Sir
Oh,
Gilliam
just-
was popped out in there.
he's still in there. Okay.
But my gloves would be in there. So.
Yep, your stuff is in there.
I'm just in this room with whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
She says, she says, do you want my real name?
I suppose so.
Dox.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Docs. I'm Oligar.
Nice to meet you, Oligar.
I guess I don't know why we came up here. I was just gonna wait
She says,
outside
all right,
the
well,
alley.
I was going to tell you. Riven is going to try to seduce that guy that looks very similar to the guy that brought me up when I got attacked.
Right, I figured that's why she put the dress on.
Yeah.
And considering everybody's been jumping out of, the second story, I was just gonna wait in the alley for them to jump out.
Oh, yeah, that actually might have made sense. Well,
But-
let's keep our ears open. Maybe we'll hear a commotion.
Yeah, that works too.
But we're a lot closer than we were in the past, so maybe we'll be
I
able to.
just like my character thinks Oligar is just with this woman.
No wonder he didn't catch anything. He's
Like,
banging
talking
hookers.
Okay, so you go down to that
This is the
room,
perfect time.
and when you walk in, it's as you left it. Look at that, Denegger getting it on with a Bane Thrall. What up?
Tell me it doesn't happen.
Fanfic. All right, but yeah, so he just kind of stands in the corner like sheepishly.
I kind of like go up to him. Are you okay?
Says, "Oh, yes, I'm always a little uncomfortable at this point.
Why is that so?
Just the anticipation.
Can I like get as close to the door as possible? Like I want to literally be like this.
I mean, the door's closed at this point, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to make sure I'm there.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Yeah,
This
can
is
we?
bad.
Can I listen out to hear them come by?
Yeah, give me a perception check. I mean, you could say that the door that you're in is open if you wanted to. I mean,
Then yeah, I mean, can I see them come by, or
Okay.
is that pretty obvious?
yeah, you see her go into that room.
Okay, then yeah, that's.
Okay.
I'm just waiting then.
Yeah, and Dox is she looks totally different now. Like she looks like almost like blonde hair, pale skin. She's considered a little bit shorter. Her dress is like way too long for her now. She's like, I just didn't want him to see me. That's all.
That's fair.
And he just looks at you and says, I guess we should be going. And when he says that, you see the far wall, a hole about 6 feet in diameter, opens in the wall. And this guy jumps through the wall.
Oh snap!
And the man of dust just crumbles to the floor. And this guy jumps through the portal, or through the hole that's in the wall. Yeah, he's gone.
So I get like a clear look of him and what he
Yep.
looks like.
And it looks like that. Except he's got more clothes on. Because that's the way the minute.
Is he a hostile towards me?
Looks like he's coming to attack you. So that's going to be initiative.
Fuck.
For everybody.
Do I hear this? Like, can I? Or has she
Everyone,
screamed or
everyone,
anything?
everyone can roll initiative.
Okay.
Ah, fuck.
Not bad.
This is a bad time to roll bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
17,
smacked.
I rolled like an 8.
I rolled a 7.
I have a 10 total.
Come on, D&D Beyond. Quicker.
Dimma dibba.
Should have had this already brought up.
This is the last time I become a hooker.
All right.
Be too quick to say that.
Riven.
That's gonna be a whopping 7.
Gendrix.
17.
Oligar.
13.
And Genesis.
10.
All right. So we've got Gendrix, followed by Oligar, and then Genesis, and then the bad guy, and then Riven.
Oh yeah.
I guess the shock of seeing a person just dissipate.
Yeah. So Gendrix, you're at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
Just finished playing your song.
So at this point, would there have been any indication?
Well, before we start, like when you see a wolf man jump through a hole in the wall, what do?
I'm gonna kind of
Before
like
the initiative round starts.
run and like slide underneath him so I can at least be towards the door.
Well, he's right by the wall.
So he's
He
by
has-
the wall.
Yeah, he hasn't moved yet. He literally has just like appeared in this hole. Like the
Just
hole
slide
opened up,
underneath him out
and
the
he just
wall.
like climbed up. He just like has climbed up through the hole and is standing basically in the hole.
Well, yeah, and then I'm running towards the door.
Okay, well you'll be able to do that on your turn, but like just like as a free action, do you do anything when you see this?
I yell, "Oh shit!"
Like really loud?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you probably all are able to hear that. Well, you may not be able to. Give me a perception check.
Okay. This guy's giving me good rolls. All right, so that's 12.
Okay, yeah, you hear it.
Okay. In that case, So for the landing is of the stairs. If I were on say the second square here,
Uh-huh.
how high is the landing here, or how high is the floor here? Like is
Like
it
10 feet.
like 10 feet
Yeah.
above the stairs there?
Yeah, I mean it's a 10-foot ceiling, and there's just the stairs just go up.
Okay. Well, what I mean is, if I hear her scream or say "oh shit," I'm thinking Gendrix might try to do something crazy and like do some parkour, like maybe halfway up the stairs, and then like kick off of this wall to get over the banister,
I
and
mean, you could.
and be like right there.
Give me an acrobatics check.
All right.
He just falls flat on his face.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's going to save you 5 or 10 feet, maybe.
Yeah. Well.
Cool points.
Give me an acrobatics check to see if it doesn't cost you extra movement.
Okay. Ooh, a 10.
10. I mean, you don't fall and bust your ass, but it does take you. You do lose half your movement from like trying to make this crazy athletic.
Hardcore parkour.
So do I? So I just
So you
am
can
like
get about,
right here.
You can get about 2 more squares.
All right.
Yeah, so you can get to about there.
And I can't see them. The door's closed.
The door
right?
is closed. Yeah, but you can see the door where Oligar is like half open. You can see Oligar standing in the doorway.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of lock eyes with Oligar, and then I think that's gonna be all that I'm doing at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Oligar.
I'm busting through.
So you run out the door.
I'm running out the door.
Okay.
No.
You can open that door and get in there.
Oh, okay. So I don't even have to bust it down.
You
Nope, it's unlocked. You just open it.
push
Yeah.
past Genesis.
Yeah, I'm just getting in there. And what do I see when I open the door?
You see a shifter
A giant wolf
who
man.
he's not. He doesn't have like it's not a full snout, but he does have a snouty like face. He still looks humanoid. I mean, he's not a werewolf. He's a shifter. But you can see he's got this long, feral-looking hair. His clothes are sort of ragged, but he does look fairly built. Give me you lived in Sharn. Give me a history check. Give me a sports and leisure check.
Ooh, history. That is in 18.
An 18. You're not sure because maybe he's gone to seed a little bit, but you're familiar with and probably have attended some Hrazak matches in your life. Krozak is a game played amongst shifters. It's quite popular in Sharn. And there are several teams, like professional organized teams throughout the city. Krozak is a game where 2 teams of 7 shifters on each side. There's different positions that can be played. But each team has an idol, and there's a goal on either end of the playing surface. And the goal is to get both idols, yours and the other team's, into your scoring zone. So you have to steal theirs and have yours, sort of like capture the flag, but it's just like they play with these little tiki idols that are about this big. And you recognize like this guy's facial features. You're pretty sure that it's sort of a legend of the game, but from maybe 10 or 15 years ago, named Wolf Sootclaw, or Wolf Sootcloud. Sorry.
That this particular guy is?
Yeah. You're like, he's probably gone to seed a little bit, but because he's got a little bit of a paunch, but he still looks freaking strong. But like the facial features, like billboards of this guy would have been plastered all over the city during the Krozak season.
Wow.
Oh,
You see that? You meet a celebrity when you come to Sharn.
that changes things.
Literally in the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron, things to do in Sharn. One of them is meet a celebrity.
I'm going to step into the room, draw my greatsword,
Okay.
and then hold my turn attacking, and just say, Wolf Sootclaw?
He just sort of looks at you.
OMG.
Okay. Is that it? You're
That's
holding
it.
your attack?
Yeah.
Okay. Genesis.
I like sort of fling in that. Yeah, I was like, I kind of like.
That's her.
Oh.
That's Wibbin.
Yeah, you could just replace me with the.
With the Wibbin.
That one is normally mine.
This one's you.
Just
Yeah,
let's switch people here.
She's the
My
dead
bee.
one.
My bee boo. All right.
Wabby Boo?
Now where are we going?
I'm gonna. Well, I was already by the door, so
Wow,
as soon as
Evo.
Oligar like ran in, I like
just ran
swing
past.
in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
getting
was
pretty
like-
tight in there.
Yeah.
Why
I
is there
can-
all these people?
I could even be like in between the door. I'll just kind of stick my head in, and
Hey guys, how's it going?
if everybody seems sort of like not attacking yet, I think I'll kind of hold my
I
action.
mean, you're not sure. You don't know. All you know is Oligar's got this sword out, and that's kind of all you've seen.
And you
Okay.
just heard me say a name, and that's it.
Yeah, that you don't.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah,
You're
if
like,
I heard
"Oh,
the
why-"
name,
You're like, why does everybody know people here?
I'll give the impression that it may not be as dire as I think. So I'll hang on for a second.
Okay. Do you want to hold an action?
Yeah, I'll hold my action.
Okay. What action are you holding?
I'm gonna just basically have. Can I just say that I have my potions in my hand without saying that I mix them? It's-
I mean, so you,
It's just my firebolt for.
okay. So yeah, you're just gonna hold fireball. That's fine.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, because I mean,
What you
technically,
did
if
it.
you hold the
Just
action of a
fireball.
spell and you end up not casting it, the spell slot still gets spent.
okay,
But
yeah.
fireball
so
is a
just
cantrip. Yes, you just hold fireball. Sure, that works. Do either of you have a trigger for your? Like, I'm not super big on like you can trigger. You can say that this is my trigger, but if something else happens and you're like, I'd like to go ahead and act now, I'm okay with that. I think it's silly to have
I
a
mean, yeah, he
specific
attacks
action.
somebody or moves to attack somebody.
Okay,
It's mine.
sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Hostility.
Okay, that will be Wolf Cloud's turn. He just sort of looks at you and goes, "Those days are past, boy," and he is going to try to grapple you.
Then I will swing at the bitch.
All right. So let's see if this grapple goes off.
Sure.
first. So make me either a strength athletics or a dexterity acrobatics check for Riven.
Oh, that's a nat one.
Oh wow.
What's your plus?
+5.
His natural one with +3 fails.
Oh
Damn.
wow.
So he will use his second attack to. He's going to use his bonus action to shift, and as he shifts, you see the hair around his face gets longer. You see these giant canines grow like from out of his mouth, and it gets a little more wolf-like looking.
Did he move over just to
I mean, he was already adjacent to
one
her.
square? Okay, I can't tell. There's a bed
So
in
he's
the
still
way.
at the hole though. There's still a hole in the wall.
He basically just tried to reach out and grab you like he was just going to jump out, but he didn't grab you because he rolled like trash.
This bed is.
So he will use. So then he will use his second attack to.
How many attacks does bitch get?
I think he's multi-attack. he is going to he's going to claw you, Oligar.
He's gonna.
But that's only a 9.
No, 9.
So he will use his bonus action to shift. So that's his turn.
Nice. Now I will
That will
swing.
bring up Riven.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're gonna swing on him. Yeah,
I'm
go for it.
swinging on him.
Swing.
Swang. Nope. No, fuck these natural ones.
Why would you roll?
Ow.
I'll attempt
Oh, natural one.
to
Yeah, that misses.
do mine then.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and you let go of your firebolt.
Yeah. Probably not. That's a 7.
Total.
Mm-hmm. I rolled
What'd
a 2.
Oh yeah, that misses.
Well, there's a whole lot of.
So yeah, I mean it's
going
just
on.
real tight quarters. You're trying to swing. You're trying to look over Oligar and shoot this firebolt. It's tight quarters in here. Riven.
So like the bed is like close to the thing, and he's still like in the hole.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna
like
run
he
and
took a
drop
step
kick
out of
his
the hole
ass
to try
out
to
of
grab
the.
you. You're gonna try and kick him.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop
Okay,
kick
so
his
make
ass
me
back through the
Make
hole.
me an unarmed attack.
Would that be strength or dex?
Strength.
Okay.
So strength plus proficiency
Uh,
is your modifier.
Okay, it's gonna be +2. That's going to be a 16.
That hits. Roll some damage.
Noise.
Would that be? What would that be actually?
Unarmed. Actually, you don't roll damage. It's 1 plus your strength modifier.
So that would be 1 plus 0.
So he takes 1 point of damage.
Yeah, but do I drop kick him out the window or
Well,
door?
we're about to find out. He's gonna make a dexterity saving throw.
This is Sparta.
He stumbles back a little bit, but he does not fall out of the window. As you just basically run up and like Sparta kick him in the chest, he sort of stumbles back and he's like, "Ugh," but he sort of regains his footing.
I would like to point out that I'm still in a dress and I have heels on.
That's that 1 point of damage.
Yep. All right, that will bring up Gendrix.
I'll kind of start running down and be like, Wolf Sootclaw! And I'll kind of like park myself right here where I can kind of still see in the room.
I want his autograph.
All of us are just beating him out.
And I'm going to cast
Soulclaw or
Bane.
Surclaw?
Bane. A charisma saving throw.
Bonnie.
Yes, that'll be a 15 to save.
No.
All right, so
He is baned.
yeah, he is baned. Yeah, whenever he makes an attack or a saving throw, roll a d4 and subtract it.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else? Bonus actions?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't really have anything to do.
Yeah, you, all of you that are in the room, you just see this sort of purple energy like whiz by your heads and encircle and wrap around, and he kind of snaps at it a little bit and seems to be ensorcelled by it. That will bring up Oligar.
All right.
Kick him out the window.
Seeing what Riven is trying to do and the fact that he keeps trying to grab Riven, I will take my two-hander in both hands as usual, and I'm just going to smash the pommel of it over his head, but basically in an attempt to daze him out the window. And just
Okay, yeah, good. Give me an attack roll. So you just like,
yeah,
You're
just
cutting
right
him.
out the window.
you're smacking him.
Oh, nice.
What am I adding to that? It's a
That would be an attack roll.
19 on the die.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's plus strength.
Yeah. So well, no, you just make a regular attack. It's just going to change the damage type to bludgeoning.
Okay, so just regular.
Yeah, basically, like to accomplish what you wanted to do, you would have had to done either a shove attack
Okay.
or like if you critted with that attack, I would have said that you.
So close.
But he'll still make a save for it. So
So regular attack.
Yep.
Reroll them ones and
roll your
twos.
damages.
6, 10. 10 damage.
Nice. Yeah, you see that one. It connects with him. He kind of stumbles a little bit. Dexterity saving throw. He's fine. He does not fall.
Did you minus your d4?
Oh, well, I don't think it's gonna matter, but I'll roll it just to see.
Because he's the dexterous fat boy.
Yeah, he. Once again, you see he's sort of stumbling. He puts a hand on the hole, and you kind of. He's used to being hit in the head a lot. You get the sense, but he did take
That's fair.
he did take a truck of damage from that. So, anything else?
No.
All right, that
I
one-
will try to interpose as much as one can in one square between myself and or himself.
Yeah,
and
it's
Riven.
a little tight.
Yeah.
That will bring up
That's
Genesis.
what she said.
I'm gonna throw another firebolt.
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna keep failing at that. That's a 9.
9, yeah.
There's too many people
Once
in
again, it
here.
just goes right out the hole again. You see it smash against a tower on the other side of the
Yeah,
alleyway.
whoever paid him to do this is just watching fireworks. Just go out.
That will bring up Wolf. He is going to try to grab you again.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, man.
So give me that acrobatics check there. I'm sure that's what you're gonna go with.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, he is much better this time.
So that would be 20.
All right, he does grab you, but you're fighting him off because he rolled a 20 as well. So you are grappled. Your movement speed is 0, but because you tied, he's not going to be able to like. He's having to struggle with you too much to try and jump out the window. But he will use his bonus action now that he does have you grappled to try and bite you.
Oh, bastard.
Back down.
But he doesn't. It's not he has advantage or anything. Whoa. That's a 15. You don't have any armor on.
Minus D4.
Minus a D4. What's your armor class? What's your dex mod?
My dex mod is 3.
So your armor class right now is a 13.
Okay.
So that is 15 minus 1 is 14.
Oh, so close.
So he does manage to bite you. It's not a ton of damage. You take 2 points of piercing damage as he just bites into your exposed shoulder. And give me a Constitution saving throw.
Hmm.
That's gonna be 20.
20. Yeah, you're fine. You feel that like whatever rabid nonsense exists in his gullet does not seem to take hold of you. All right, that will bring up Riven.
He's got cooties.
Okay, I
You
guess
got
we'll
something.
make him something really risky. Is my feet still on the ground?
No, he's like picks you up. He's like as he grabs you and picks you like he's over 7 feet tall.
Is there a place where I can kick him in the nuts? Can I knee him?
You can
Kill
attempt.
him?
I mean, if you want to find a place where you can kick him in the nuts, kicking him in the nuts would be an acceptable place to do said nut kicking. So,
Or is there anything I can like push myself off of?
I mean, you could try and break the grapple if you want to, but I mean, you're not at disadvantage or anything to attack, so you could certainly try and kick him.
And it's 2 stories outside, isn't it?
Well, this overlooks. You can see out the hole. You see like the like corrugated tin roof that is the top of the kitchen.
All right, so I'm kind of gonna like find something. I guess like the sill or like the edge of the wall to kick off of. I'm gonna like kick back and then see if we can both fly out the window.
You're not really close enough to a wall. What you can, I'll say that what you can do is because you're close to the bed, you can put your feet on the baseboard of the bed and try and push him out the window. The wall. Imagine this is the
Okay.
wall. The hole is in this wall. The
Okay.
roof of the kitchen is literally right there. It's not.
Okay.
There's no fall.
Okay.
Like it's slanted, but that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, but you can. So give me a strength because you're basically making a shove attack.
Okay.
So give me a strength plus proficiency plus your d20 to make a shove attack, and he will try to resist your shove attack. I'm gonna give him disadvantage because he's holding on to you.
Wait, can I use my bardic inspiration?
You can.
Yeah.
So that's going to be plus 2, 13.
He rolls 16 even with disadvantage. So as you try to push off, he's just stout, and he manages to keep you from moving. He's a big dude.
Well, at the last of my turn, I'm gonna be like, push me to like one of them.
Okay. That will bring up Gendrix.
All right. I'm gonna look at Wolf and be like, I never liked you anyway, and I'm gonna call out like another player that was like obviously worse than him and be like,
Okay.
he scored on you so many times, and that's a vicious mockery.
Okay. Wisdom?
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt his ego.
No.
No, not even a little bit.
No. He's like, what? So roll your damage.
Okay. That'll be 3 psychic damage.
Nice.
And disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that's gonna be that for now.
That'll bring up Oligar. Just for combat perspective, you have no chance of hitting Riven if you are to attack him.
Just shove me out the window.
It seems like a terrible idea.
Alright.
I don't play them weird rules.
Can I?
Unless you want to hit Riven. That's.
I mean, you know.
Can we use Riven as a weapon to push him?
Can we hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker?
It seems his target is Riven, so if we alleviate him of his target, then the problem to solve.
So you're going to play Riven Tug of War? I'm here for this.
Kill Riven, and there will be no problem.
What? I hope you're not voicing this out loud.
No. Someone bring me my milk.
I'm telling you, just shove me out the window.
For what reason? He's trying to go out the window.
Well, I mean, if we go down to there and we just hit the kitchen, then, you know, I can run through the kitchen and run back upstairs.
The kitchen is just a roof
Yeah.
that is at the level of this floor you are currently on.
Yeah.
Because the kitchen goes up 10 feet, as does the interior of the building, and then the next level of the building starts. So, like, literally, he could walk out of the building onto the tin roof of the kitchen.
He did too.
At this moment. Which is what he's been trying to do, but he's been sucking at it.
I want to.
Oh, great. I'm going to get kidnapped by a
I
hairy
wanna
man.
grapple the grapple.
So you're going to try and grab onto
I'm
him.
gonna bear hug the wolf, bear hugging the
Oh,
changeling.
sure. So just between you, you're making a Riven sandwich.
Yes.
Okay.
This
So
is
go ahead and
happening.
roll your athletics.
All right.
In the middle of all this, I'm like, this is not what I anticipated.
Okay. I rolled a 17.
Okay. So you now have him grappled,
Yes.
and the movement speeds are 0 all around. Well, yours
And
isn't, but his is.
I'm
Yours is
going
half.
to bonus action.
Okay. Are you gonna do a divine smite grapple? Because that'd be hilarious.
Divine smite? No, I'm going to imprint him.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna-
you can follow him.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm a weird.
Alright. You give him the stink eye.
Yep.
Okay.
But like super close to his face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right
You're just
there.
like you hug him and go.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Just right over Riven's shoulder.
All right. Genesis.
I don't. And I like reach out and I
Okay.
try to chill touch him.
Okay.
Oh wait, is it just an action?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. I rolled for nothing.
You just make a
Um,
stealth
No, I
attack.
mean it's still a attack roll.
Yeah, it
You
is,
make
but
stealth
that
attack.
definitely.
That is an action.
Yeah, that's an 11.
11 misses.
You're moving on up.
That D20 has
Yeah,
betrayed
you need
you.
to put that one on the anvil.
Just
Yep.
take this.
You guys see the spectral hand sort of fly through the air, and it just like you're like just watching it out the window throughout the whole.
There's
room.
another one gone.
Um,
They're like fireworks. Woo!
Yeah.
that will bring out. He is gonna. This is just gonna turn into a grapple fest.
Every 6 seconds, just something flies out magical.
Right?
Yep. He's gonna try.
I'm like, I don't fucking know.
He's
man.
gonna try to break your grapple.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a.
Grappling, grappling.
Oh,
Grappling.
bear hug.
Alright, that's 18.
Oh no. Yeah. He tries, but he's trying to hold on to Riven and break yours, and he just doesn't seem that he can quite find the
Work on
I
purchase.
feel like I'm kind of like being
Quite find the
swung
person to do
around.
it, and he just.
You just-
But he kind of looks at you and goes, "I will have this one," and he's gonna try to bite you with his bonus action.
Oh, you bastard.
So is Oligar over Riven, or is he
Yeah,
like
there's a so
behind?
imagine Wolfman has Riven hugged, grappled, and then Oligar is on the other side of Riven making a Riven sandwich hugging Wolfman.
Okay.
So Riven is stuck in between them right now.
I don't know. I'm gonna get out.
He goes to bite, but his teeth chink off of your scale armor.
Yes.
All right, Riven.
Can I actually break out of this? Like, is
You
it?
can try to break the grapple, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like wiggle out between them.
Okay, so make an
Like-
acrobatics or
You just have to
athletics.
just slink.
So they can just hug one another.
Let us embrace Riven. Yes. Yes.
18.
Was this what you had in mind when you were playing this was?
Oh my. You're not getting away.
Roll
In
natural
the
20,
middle
sorry.
of this.
Yeah, you're trying to wiggle free, but he is strong. He's just holding on to you. Like you get the sense that like if he can get away from Oligar, he's gonna bolt.
He's gonna carry me. My legs are gonna be going like this.
Give me a perception check.
That's gonna be a 6.
Okay.
I can't see anything. I'm sandwiched.
Yep. Anything else? Bonus actions.
I can't do, or can I do like an attack?
Well, it would have been your action trying to break
Okay,
the
so,
grapple.
I guess I want to yell to. Well, no. I'm just be like, this is not what I intended.
That's not what I anticipated this morning.
Gendrix.
All right, so Gendrix has had like a candle light up above his head, and he's gonna kind of peer into the room.
And you're gonna grapple onto us again too.
Grapple chain.
I want to try to use like
Big B's hand.
a bit of time and see if I can spot Riven's gloves laying around anywhere.
Give me a perception check.
Nat 20 with a 24.
Damn.
You do spot them.
I'm gonna shoot a mage hand over at them and try to get them to Riven.
Okay. So you see this sort of spectral hand zoom between the Riven sandwich, and what you didn't notice because you're smushed between two hulking figures is your gloves were laying on the bed right next to you, and you see this hand just picks them up and like, you're just like, here, take them.
Riven, here.
Would that be my next action to take it?
Well, on your turn.
Okay.
Anything else?
Slide them on my hands.
I think that's probably gonna be my turn.
Okay.
Like getting in there and like peeking around and be like, oh yeah.
Okay. Oligar.
What can I do when I am
Oh, so you're grappling somebody, so you can still
grappling a
attack.
man?
You can actually maintain your grapple. Like basically, you're like holding on to like his fur or his shirt collar. You can still, you can still punch him, or you couldn't really use your sword
Right.
to its full effect. I'd say you could
Can I
use
give
your
him the
sword,
old
but
headbutt?
yeah, you could headbutt him. You could use your sword, but I'd say it's only 1d6 because you're not going to be able to swing it with as great a might. It'd only be 1d6 instead of 2d6.
No, I'm just gonna headbutt him.
Okay.
That's an
I'm gonna
Oligar
kind of like
thing
lean
to
to
do.
the side.
Yeah, the old headbutt. Ooh, that's 13.
That hits.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just strength, right?
Yeah,
Plus
one plus your strength mod.
So that's 5.
5 points. Nice.
5 points.
Yeah, you rear back and you like almost like push Riven's head down and just wham and just headbutt him right in the snoot, and he just kind of and growls at you. Anything else? Do you want
What
to
is
divine,
going
divine
on?
smite that?
No, I wish. Divine headbutt.
Hilarious.
That would be the best divine smite.
Yeah, I know, right?
It
All right,
would.
Genesis.
Okay. I'm gonna try to firebolt him again.
Okay,
We'll see.
one of these days.
Different dice. It's an 11.
Yeah, he's
I-
just like
I quit.
Yeah, there's so much in the way you can't see much of him, and you're trying to, but it's just he's so hard to hit from your current vantage.
It's fine. You're not in sandwich mode, so.
Anything else?
I'm just trying to keep the room lit right now.
Okay, yeah. So he is going to.
Might maybe
what's
starting
he gonna
fires
do?
in the room to help you guys out. That helps, right?
He's gonna make.
Just set the harbor net on
He's
fire.
gonna
Yeah.
make 2 claw attacks at you, Oligar, since he doesn't seem to be able to break your grapple.
Wookie.
So the first one is gonna be that's a 12 to hit armor class, and his second one is that's better. 21
Oh, that'll hit.
to hit your armor class, and he does 9 points of slashing damage. And then he is going to use his bonus action to bite you.
Okay.
But that's only going to be a 9.
Nope.
Yeah, so he does manage to slash you one time with these like long claws on the ends of his fingers, but as he bites at you, it, your armor gets in his way. Riven.
I'm gonna slide the gloves on.
Okay, so yeah, bonus action, just to quickly put them on. You're really attuned to how they work. They just kind of go into place, and as you put them on, you can probably see this because of how close she is. You notice that when she puts them on, these little bits of metallic and wiring over here start clicking into place as she puts them on.
And
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I imagine he's like in my ear at this point because we're all like sandwiched together.
Right.
And I can probably smell what he just ate because he
Yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
smells
That's
like, and he
pork.
probably doesn't wear deodorant, so it's probably sweaty and nasty.
I mean, none of you wear deodorant. You all
Yeah,
stink.
I don't think there's any
'Cause,
deodorant.
Well, you especially stink.
There is no fantasy deodorant.
I got that. Like at this point, it's sour milk breath.
Ugh.
That is the worst. Anyways, I guess at that point I'm gonna take and get Sir Gilliam to like start running towards him.
Okay, yeah, he can make. There's really nowhere for him to go though. Like he runs up and he's like, he's trying to get through, but he can't.
I would move out of the way for him if I could.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of gets up and sort of tries to push through, but yeah, the room is really tight. He could use his whole turn and his bonus action, or he uses move and his action, like everything he can to move to get into the other side of where Genesis is.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's everything he can do.
All right, and I guess that would be my. Well, I have attacked with him, so I still have my action, right?
Yeah, but it's going to take literally everything that you can make him do on this
Okay.
turn, like move, attack,
Okay.
everything, just for him to be able to kind of push his way through.
Okay, so that would be, I guess, my turn.
Yep. Okay. That will bring up Gendrix.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna continue with the insults and be like, and furthermore, did this and this to you, and
13.
13 will not pass.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna smack him for 2 psychic damage.
Nice. All right. Anything else?
And that's it.
Okay. Oligar.
Let's see. Remembering now, after watching, lots of his matches and everything, remembering how hard-headed he is, I'm not going to headbutt him again. I'm actually going to wiggle around and I'm going to kick him in the knee.
Okay, so you're going to try and knock him to the ground?
Yeah, if I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, give me a roll. We'll see how it goes.
I'm going to kick him in the bad knee.
Okay.
Kick him in the bad knee. Oh, no.
No?
That's a 10.
Nope, that misses. Yeah.
Yep.
You go to kick.
There's just
and-
too many legs down there.
Yeah, well, you rear back with your boot and you kick into where you feel like you should be able to collapse his knee, and it's just solid muscle. Like it's designed. Like he got used to taking this kind of a hit on the field, and that ain't working. Anything else?
No, that is it.
Genesis.
Yep. I'm gonna hopefully firebolt him this time. That's a 15.
Yes.
Finally.
Hey!
Found the angle.
Roll 1 damage.
No. 6 damage.
Nice.
Very nice.
I sort of like jump up and like toss this bolt
Yeah,
down.
he sort of howls like, "Arr!" And yeah, you can see that hurt him pretty good. All right, he's feeling desperado, so he's going to.
Let me go? Yeah.
I'm going to read his ability card directly, and he's going to bite you first. This time, you.
Me?
He's still baned.
Yeah, he is baned. You're right.
Bonade.
Does a 17 hit your armor class?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh,
Ooh.
all right. So you'll take 3 points of piercing damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
It's not for a disease, is it?
It is not.
Cool.
You gonna turn into one of them.
14.
14. That's good enough. So I guess he's gonna try to break the grapple. So give me athletics or acrobatics.
23.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, he tries to break free, and you just like vice grip, hold him in place.
I just grab his head that's just biting me. I'm like, no.
All right, that will bring up Riven.
I'm gonna see if I can get Sir Gilliams to like climb up me and get on like top of me.
And grapple.
It'd probably be easier to have him climb up Oligar.
Climb up Oligar then,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, you can have him move. He just sort of puts a shield on his back. How she's able to like maneuver him to do Tom Cruise mountain climbing over the back of Oligar, you don't know, but she can.
Alright, and then he's gonna pull out his sword, and I guess it's kind of like walk across this because I mean like we probably have like a bridge of
It's
arms,
just-
like it's steady,
okay.
you know.
Yeah. So he's standing up there. Give me an acrobatics.
Not there. Ah.
That's gonna be a
Wow.
nat 20.
Okay, yeah. Sir Gilliams is
Okay, thanks for missing the
solid
hair.
up here.
So like he's gonna take out his sword and he's just gonna jab it in its neck.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Does a 16 hit?
Indeed, it does.
Nice.
Roll
Nice.
some damage.
All that beautiful bean footage.
That's gonna be 5.
5 points.
Yeah.
Tell me of his grisly demise.
Nice.
I am at this point. I am pissed. So as soon as Sir Gilliams gets up there, he's gonna have like you can imagine like a smiley face on his face, and he's gonna take it and he's gonna just jab it into his neck.
Okay. Okay. So you see Sir Gilliam
Shaggy
like
up there?
he like grab. You feel it pull against your armor as he like locks a hand in and just hoists himself up, and he steps on your head and walks over.
But he misses the hair.
Yeah, he steps on your head, and then he just takes the sword, spins it around gladiator style, right into the top of this thing's head, and it just kind of, and you feel the grip release, and you feel him go dead in your arms.
Good night, sweet prince.
I don't know if you were talking to me or that thing.
So I don't know what happened to you. I'm just still grappling this thing on the way down.
And at this point, Gendrix is remembering a time when he lost money on like betting on Wolf, and is like, and he's just like at this point just letting insults fly to no avail, just cussing this dude out for no reason now.
And I'm just remembering times that I've won money.
Okay. Cool. So what do you do? He is dead. Yeah, what do you do?
Is the magical hole still there?
It is.
I want to look out in the street, see if I see anything.
It's dark. You look out, you can see there are little, like, ever-burning torches on some of the walls. This alleyway is pretty dark. You see the slanted tin roof of the kitchen. You don't see much. I mean, you can kind of look out and see the alley goes out to, like, the main street in the front, and you can kind of see people moving about. But,
If I look down towards that bar, do I see?
you can't see it from here.
Okay, I can't see from here.
Well, and while he's doing that, I'm gonna walk over to the dead body. I'm just gonna haul off and just slap it.
Okay, yeah, there's a sword stuck in his head, and you just slap him, and Sir Gillian just sort of, and he pulls the sword out.
I want to investigate the hole.
The hole?
Yeah, it's like a magical.
there's plenty of room.
You just look at the hole. It is a perfect sphere, or perfect circle, 6 foot diameter in this wall.
It's good.
Is like another dimension in there? Like, do I feel like if I went through it?
I hope not. I just look my head through there.
I mean, you can walk through it if you want out onto the roof of the kitchen.
I kind of. Oh, so it just opens up. Like, can I see through to what is on the other side?
See
It's
the
just
outside.
A,
Yeah,
okay.
it's literally a
I thought he
perfect
came
hole.
in from like a
Yeah, like a
dimension.
perfect hole has been punched in this wall.
It's quite
Okay.
literally what he just described.
No, when in my brain I was thinking like he came through the hole and then they were trying to get out the window the entire time.
Nope.
Okay.
He was trying to get back out of the hole.
Okay.
So, like, is there any kind of, like, marking on him? Like, any kind of, like, pendant, any kind of, like, clothing that would give any idea of why he wanted me?
It sounds like you want to make an investigation check
Yeah.
of his person. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was just considering that.
15.
15. Let me see. What do you find?
After
He
slap.
doesn't have any particular. He does have several tattoos, but you don't recognize what they are. The two of you easily enough see the tattoos and realize they're like sports tattoos, and like one of them is the logo of the team that he played for, which has a name, but I can't. It's in here somewhere. Oh wait, I know what it is. I'm gonna see. I thought about this.
The Calliston
The
Caltrops.
Ambergate Fangs.
Ambergate
was
Fangs.
who he played for. But yeah, he has like tribal sort of tattoos on his arms and across his chest and things. But with a 15, what do you find? You see that stuck in his belt is a little device of some nature. It looks a lot like this. It's a little bit bigger.
He's got a pencil.
Yep.
It's your erase
For the
marker.
podcast. But no, it's a little bit. The diameter is a little bit bigger, but you see it has a button at one end.
I'm going to take it and I'm going to hit the button.
Nothing happens.
I'm going to just keep clicking the button.
Nothing happens.
Boy, somebody somewhere is just getting shocked to shit.
Yeah, you click the button and nothing seems to happen.
And that's all that he has on him. He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any. I mean, he's got a little pocket change, like a few silver.
I will I'll just collect some more of like the fresher dust. While
Okay.
they're
Yeah, there's a big
looking
pile
around.
of it where the dude. It's all a lot of it's moved around through all the scuffling, but yeah, there's a healthy portion of it.
Yeah, I try to get a pretty good amount of it.
Okay, you fill up your jar a little bit more with it. Sure.
Hey guys, there's this button thing and I'm still clicking it just to see if like
Let me see that, please.
I'm afraid if you click it, you're gonna break it.
I mean, I'm not going to click it. I don't know what could go with this. What do you think this controls?
I'll take a look at it and kind of roll it over my hand. Does it have any markings on it, or?
Not really. The end of the end of it that has the button is on the button's on the side. That end that's close to the button is round, and it does appear to have like just a little gemstone stuck in the end of it.
I'll look at the gemstone, then I'll look at the hole, and I'll point the device at the hole and push the button.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. I'll click it a couple more times and be like, seems to be just a piece of junk.
Point it at the fresh wall.
And I'll point at the other wall over there, and nothing. I'll
I'll,
pass it off to Genesis.
I'll look at it. Does it look familiar at all, or?
I mean, like you're just gonna kind of inspect it.
Yeah.
You can make an Arcana check.
Maybe it has charges or something.
Maybe so.
19.
Yeah, you have no idea what this thing does. You have no idea what the button does, but you're like, it could. Yeah, like when he says something along those lines that would be more in world, you're like, yeah, maybe it casts some kind of a spell, but maybe it can only do it like once a day or something.
Yeah.
We can
I'll
ask the
repeat that.
professor. Or you have the info.
I do.
At this point, I'm gonna kind of walk through the
I just
hole
can't do it
and
now.
kind of like check out like the roof of the kitchen and look down below and see if like claw marks or anything. Like if I can.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
13.
13. You. Wait, that may be there. You see, like down in the alleyway, you can kind of see like how he climbed up, like where there's like a pile of like garbage bins or whatever. You see how he climbed up, and you see something shining down there on the ground.
I am attracted to shiny things, so I
Sure.
will go and check out the shiny.
Okay. Yeah. So you jump down off the roof,
So
kind of the way he
shiny.
did. And you see, and there's a key with like a key ring with like that has some identifying type numbers on it. You ready to write?
Oh yeah, hang on a second.
You can see that on this key ring, it's a pretty heavy iron key,
Okay.
and on the key ring is the inscription ST
Okay.
134-32 NTJ -17W.
Is this like a Xbox code?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, what kind of skin does this have?
You can make just a straight intelligence check if you would like.
All right. 7 plus 1 is 8.
You're not sure what that might be. Like you're like, it's something, but I can't. Like you've seen it before, but you can't put your finger on it exactly what it is. Like what that number may refer to.
Okay. I'll kind of take the key with me, and I'll say I'll look up to the hole and I'll say I'll meet you all inside, and I'll make my way back around to the main room. And
All right. Dox kind of comes around and goes, "Is he dead?"
Yep.
She kind of looks at him and spits on him and then kicks him in the ribs and goes, "Fuck you," and just like walks away.
I'm kind of gonna like grab my clothes out of the closet, and then I'm gonna go to knock on a door and see if there's anybody in there.
Which door?
I guess actually no. If this door is still open, or that door's still open.
Yeah, that door is across. At the end is still open. Yeah.
I'm gonna go into that room and close the door and change it to my normal clothes.
Okay. Sure. Easy enough.
Tired of being sexy ribbon?
It was stressful.
It's exhausting.
It was exhausting. It's exhausting being this fabulous.
takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I'll go back downstairs as well.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. Yep. You guys, do you do anything when you walk downstairs? Like everyone down in the common room, like this didn't last that long. It lasted like maybe 20 seconds. But like everyone in the common room is kind of like they're all just at that point of like, what the fuck is going on? As you guys come walking downstairs. Like Alathra walks up to you and probably walks up to you. When you come in the front door, she's like, "Oh, the hell happened? What is going on? Was there another attack?
We found your beastie, man.
Oh, where?
He's on the floor upstairs. We unfortunately he's not alive for questioning.
Oh, I see. And she goes and grabs one of the elven boys by the ear. And she's like, "Go find the watch. We need to have this cleaned up now." And he sort of runs off.
And I'll catch her attention, and I'll kind of flash the key to her, and I'll say, "Does this look familiar to you at all?"
She looks at it. She says, "Oh, I mean, it's a key. I'm not sure. I don't recognize what this inscription means. No."
Neither do I. Thank you. And I'll kind of go back to my seat over there, and I'll just keep kind of studying the key.
Yeah, you can see like a lot of people have like sort of vacated the premises. It looks like just the people that work here are probably still the ones that are here.
Okay.
She says, "Is there a mess?"
There's quite a bit of that dust up there.
And a body, but the city watch will clean that up.
Oh yes, the boy went to get the watch. They will of course want to speak with you.
We have to wait on him anyway. We have business with them.
Oh, okay. And so eventually, like two guards in the city watch. Their watch gear looks a little bit different. It has like their like sash that they wear across has like a big anchor on it. Those of you that are from Sharn know that's like there's a slight. It's still part of the city watch, but they're assigned specifically to Cliffside and to oversee, like to make sure that shipping and things like that by boat are safe. But he comes in and he says, the fellow there tells me there was an attack here. Someone was killed. Is that right?
Yes, the attacker was killed, and you'll never believe who it is.
Okay, who is it?
Wolf Sootclaw.
No way.
He's the person that's been attacking these workers here.
Oh, we were unaware that there was anything going on here. Has this been going on for a while?
Past couple of weeks, I believe.
Oh, well, we're pretty much assigned to the harbor.
That's all right. That's why they put a thing up at the house.
Of course. Well, I mean, he says, he kind of looks at his companion and says, "Go up and have a look. If we need to get some more people," and he tells Lathrop, says, "We'll make sure nothing comes of this. We'll keep it quiet. We wouldn't want your business to suffer." She says, "Oh, I appreciate that very much. Thank you." They'll clean up the dead body, and there's lots of blood on the floor because he got stabbed in the head. Yep. But eventually, about an hour later, several more. They're not watchmen, but they're like dock workers. They're just wearing like heavy leather vests, and they come in and you hear a thunk, and they roll the body out the hole, and they deal with it from there.
Still sitting at the table. When I see Oligar next, I'm going to kind of pass the key off to him and say, and have him inspect it. Is Doc still walking around?
She's probably sitting at the table with you guys.
What does she look like right now? Does she look like she did when we walked in?
Not quite as like the hair isn't perfect, but I mean she still looks beautiful.
I'm gonna kind of sidle up to her and be like, "There was quite an excitement. Are you okay?"
She says, "Oh, I'm fine. I stayed in the room and sort of hid."
Well, we just wanted to make sure that you ladies were safe.
Oh, of course.
Like laying on the charm a little bit.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, what was your name again?"
Gendrix de Fierlin.
Mr. Gendrix, I appreciate you looking out for us, coming to deal with this issue. Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. It was our pleasure.
Thank you. The watchman, as he leaves, he says, do you have any paperwork on this?"
Yes, and I'll hand it to him.
He says, "All right, you can come down to the harbor watch station. I don't have this kind of coin on me, but if you come down to the harbor watch station, we can get you sorted out. it's only about a 10-minute walk from here. So he says, we're going to head back. He's like, I'm on shift until the sun comes up. So stop in
Will
if
do.
you need to take care of that.
I didn't quite want to carry the body through the streets.
Well, hey, it's taken care of. Thank you for, getting this thing. I can't believe Wolf Sooklaw is attacking prostitutes in a broth. That's silly.
I know, right? Like Ginger's has a moment of like gushing. He was like, "Well, you just come to do a job, and then like there's a celebrity right there, you know."
Yeah, it's weird.
No,
It's
that's what I
crazy.
said. I went in there and I was like, Wolf Sootclaw?
And I heard that when he said it, and I was like, "Wolf
Meanwhile,
Sootclaw."
He's
What's
like,
going on?
you mean Soot Cloud, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
I mean, he had claws. I was confused in the heat of the moment. I went in there with my sword. I was going to just chop the dude's head off, and there
You know
he
what the
is.
fans used to call him, the Claw. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he was a pretty amazing blitzer.
I know, right? I headbutted the dude.
I don't like
Nothing
sports.
happened. I kicked him in the leg.
Nothing happened.
happened.
This dude was a monster.
I'm telling you, he retired before his time.
He really
For
did.
sure, it's sad. He's
It was impressive.
reduced to being a criminal.
He bit me and tried to take me out the window.
The watchman, as he's leaving, sort of looks at you, he goes, "Very sorry about that, man."
At that
You're
point,
right.
I'm gonna
He's a monster.
I can't get someone to bring me a drink.
Yeah.
I
They come over and like Alather comes over and sets like a whole bottle of wine and glasses on the table.
He's a monster.
I pour like a little bit of wine in all the glasses, and then I take the wine bottle for myself and I start talking the shit out of it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're sat around this table.
You know,
I'm still just kind of chatting with Docs, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she seems, somewhat resistant to your charms, but maybe that's because of the life she leads.
Indeed.
there's another place down the street we could get a drink. No offense, Docs. That might have some more answers on why and what happened to the girl that was taken.
It's been a very long day.
Might have answers about this key. I don't know why I'm talking like
You know what? I'm
dog.
going to go and
Just slips in.
Did you show him the key?
Yeah, I handed it to him to see if he, if he could
Give me
glean
an
anything from
intelligence
it.
check.
That's the weapon 7.
Nope. Same thing as Ginger. You're like, I know that this has it's something, but you just can't quite put your finger on it.
Perhaps the watch may know something.
Yeah, but that guy left. He was shamed into leaving.
I was almost afraid to show it to them. I
Excuse me?
wouldn't want to just give them.
I mean, rightfully so. The guy was a monster. I'm just saying.
Okay, good. As you are talking about the key, Doc, she sort of
I
looks
mean, I
at
just
you.
have it. I'm just flinging it
Yeah,
around.
she just grabs it and is like looks at the inscription and goes, just like tosses it back to you. Goes, it's a warehouse in the stores.
Warehouse in the stores. How far?
I mean, she sort of like looks up. She's like, I mean, there's a what would she call it? She's like, there's an arcane lift, like 3 blocks, takes you right out of this tower up into the stores. I mean, I don't know exactly where it is. I don't know what, but I mean, that's an address for the specific warehouse.
I've been gone from Sharn for far too long.
I mean, like the store, like literally, so this is Cliffside and Sharn's Welcome. It goes up the cliffside, and the stores is right there.
That makes
I'm
sense.
spent. But I'm afraid if we don't go to this place, we may miss whoever may be there.
It's like, I mean, I don't know what they're planning on doing with Seer, but I mean, she is my friend.
I mean, it's not going to hurt to look.
We thought it wouldn't hurt to come here.
We're all still okay, but she may not be.
She's got a point.
How much does this job pay again?
Couldn't tell you.
We've already done the thing that pays. I mean, we should definitely go and check on the friend, like remembering that Docs is there and I'm trying to be all heroic. We should definitely go and try to find her.
well, I'm gonna go take a nap first. Your homegirl's hurt.
How bad are you?
Not too bad, but I'm tired.
Her brain hurts.
Like you're just physically tired dealing with all this.
Well, don't,
The
like-
ogres, the shifter, the famous shifter.
I have stuff to make you help you sleep. I could use
No.
less time.
like at this point, it's only, it's probably not late. It's probably 9 o'clock. Alatha just sort of like walks over and says, I don't think we'll have much business for the rest of the evening if you wish to stay here. She says, she says, I have a bit of coin that I could pay you if you were to go and try to find my dear Zir at arms.
You have some coffee?
She says, well, I don't think that would help you sleep any, but...
No, but get some coffee and
What
go.
room can I take, please?
She says, well, I mean, any of them, to be fair, I said, I don't think we're going to have much business after that scuffle.
I'm taking my butt up the stairs and I'm going to sleep.
Oligar, I believe we should stay here for the evening. I think
So?
I think that we should stay here for the evening. Like look at Docs.
Okay.
I think the intent is to sleep if we stay here.
Yes, because I need to sleep,
As Riven,
but not really because I'm an elf.
as Riven heads upstairs, Doc just sort of says, well, thank you all for what you've done. And she just heads off upstairs.
I'm not used to women so resistant to my charm.
I think you're charming.
Thank you, dear.
And I'll walk and basically just like head in the direction of like a room.
Okay. She follows you into the room that you go into, and she shuts the door and just like sits down against the door with her arms crossed and just like looks like stares at you.
Is there a reason why you followed me in here?
Yeah.
Are you going to watch me sleep?
Fine. Give me a deception check with advantage.
Meanwhile, Gendrix is just sitting in a chair downstairs drinking wine and like plucking on his lute a little bit.
That's going to be a
Damn.
24.
24.
Nice.
She looks at you and says, I didn't put it together right away.
Then put what together?
She just kind of goes,
Do I smell bad?
no, you don't smell bad, but you smell like us.
Not sure what you're referring to us. It's kind of freaking me out.
She just looks at you and goes, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you know Riven, but I know what you are. She just sort of looks at you and goes, I sniffed you out. You can smell me, but you already knew I was a changeling, so it didn't matter.
You don't think I'm Riven?
I mean, you've taken on Riven as a persona.
I was going to immediately change back into Mars.
Okay. She looks at you and goes, like, that shocks her. She kind of looks at you and stands up and goes, wait.
And I go back to Riven. And then I go back to Mars.
She just like stares at you for a minute as you switch back and forth. She says, what happened to you?
Then I go back to Riven and stay Riven.
She says, you keep whatever form you have to, but what? We were friends, and you just disappeared.
What's the strongest alcohol do you have?
I mean, I'm sure they've got all kinds of stuff down there.
Please go get me a bottle of it. And we'll talk.
She
You know what? Get me 2 bottles of it.
opens the door and just like said, she like, yeah, I don't know the elf boy's name. She yells a name and says, bring me something strong. And a few minutes later, one of the elf boys sort of walks in with a couple of glasses and a bottle and hands them to her, and she just sets it on the table, sets the bottle down, pours 2 glasses, says, I'm all ears.
I think what I'm gonna do is just go on into detail because I don't want the rest of them to know yet without them asking me, and just explain what had happened and what I had to do and why I left.
She just sort of looks at you and says, like, she lets you just say it all. And she just kind of looks at you and goes, we thought you were dead.
Well, I'm not.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to know it, but there's others that may want to know it too.
I'm just gonna take over the bottle and just.
She just sort of tilts it down and sets it back on the table and says, you should go back. You don't have to stay, but
I can't go back as Revan, or I can't go. I have to either go back as Mars or go back as Riven. I can't.
well, I mean, don't you think her family deserves to know too? I mean, I understand what you did, but I can't say that I agree with it, but I understand. But like, you were my friend. I don't know what else to say. Like, your parents deserve to know that you're not dead.
It's not what I would miss for.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
Paranoid as hell.
Well, I mean, do you give them? Do you blame them? Look what happened here tonight. Look what's been happening.
How far would I even be from the Elder's Reach from now? Would I even know? Or
I mean, yeah, you understand the basic map. Breland, which is Rasharn. Rasharn is a very southern tip of Corvair. Breland goes up, and the Eldine reaches to the northwest.
so,
It's pretty far. It's maybe 1,000 miles.
So like in comparison to like days, like by airship, I guess. If there's
By airship, it would take you a week, maybe a little bit less. There's nowhere to dock though, so I mean,
falling out of the sky.
yeah. The lightning rail doesn't really go there, so.
So I would have to like trek.
Yeah, I mean, you could still take an airship there, and you just wouldn't be able to dock. They'd have to bring it in low, and you'd have to take the ladder down or something.
I'll consider it.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it now. I mean, obviously you found a new family of sorts.
But this stays between us.
I mean, I don't know them any better. I mean, you know them better than I do. You can tell them in your own time, but it's. When I first saw you walk in, I didn't know. I thought you were just someone who looked like her. But then when you started doing things, I caught your scent.
So like the scent that you think, or it's so I would know this scent.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a specific scent.
Yeah,
or like,
so
how does that work?
like above game, like how you get advantage on deception against somebody, you don't really get that against changelings, because they know what you're doing, they can understand it, but no, you still get but they get advantage to break your deception, and she rolled a natural 20.
So it's like
Which
deception.
is why I had her approach you. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, yeah, but you would know that, like at the same time, like if there's a changeling trying to fool you, like you have an easier time of figuring it out than someone else would.
Okay.
But she just sort of looks at you and goes, "Can you at least find Zir? She's from somewhere else. I think she said she's from Kabara. She's not part of the fam, but she's my family now. And I can't imagine why she's been taken, or why this soot cloud fellow is trying to take us. But whatever it is, he wanted changelings. I don't know why.
I don't either. It's kind of weird for me.
Yeah, a little bit. But anyway, will you find her for me?
We'll do our best.
Thank you. I can't lose to someone else. And at that, she pours a final drink and leaves.
How much of the bottle's still there?
Probably about half.
I'm gonna finish the rest of it.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
That's gonna be an 18.
Okay. Yeah. You wake up the next morning with a fucking terrible hangover. What do the rest of you do?
I don't sleep, so I found a room to like relax in, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do your alchemy stuff,
Yeah.
so
Can I use that time to like investigate the sand?
you can not get your spells back if you want to do that.
I'll save that for later.
Yeah, no, so yeah, like, whereas everyone else has to sleep, you have to spend that 8 hours doing alchemy to get your spell slots back.
Okay.
So,
Then I'll be doing my alchemy
so like,
stuff.
if you went through a day without doing any spells, then you wouldn't have to do any alchemy stuff that night because you didn't waste any spells. If you only used one spell slot and didn't want to worry about getting it back, you wouldn't have to. But you have to get your spell slots back. You have to, and you still have to be involved. Like you can't to get your health back. You still have to be kind of chill. So like working at alchemy, reading a book, doing research, that kind of thing. You'll get your health back from doing that. But you can't be out like running around and talking to people and you still have to have that like chill time to get your health back.
I'm just gonna kind of kick it on at a table and drink and kind of ponder over like the events of the last few days and
Okay.
just sit there until pretty much there's nobody left in the common room, and then I'll go probably sit up in one of these chairs up here and to do my trance.
Okay.
Yep, I'll go to sleep.
Okay. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. The next morning you wake up, you have a terrible hangover from drinking most of a bottle of hard alcohol. You all head downstairs, and there is you see Elathra is just like cleaning tables, and you see that you can hear sounds like that scullion boy they talked about is in the back cleaning the dishes and everything. But as you come downstairs, Elathra just sort of looks at you and says, "Oh, there's a over on the bar that sack of coins is for you. It someone from the City Watch delivered it this morning. I
Thank
told
you.
them that you were staying here."
I'll go over and grab it.
Yeah, I believe it was 75 gold.
I'll hand it to Gendrix the bank.
Okay.
All right, I'll put it on the bag of holding for now.
Okay.
Big 7-5.
You see Dox comes out of the kitchen, comes around the bar and sort of looks at all of you and says, "Well, I'm going to go off to the market, pick up some supplies for the kitchen, and hopefully I'll see you all again."
It's nice to meet you.
Hopefully.
It's nice to meet all of you too. She says, "I know that you've fulfilled whatever your contract was, but Zir, the changeling that was taken, was a very good friend of mine. If you could do anything to get her back, I would forever be in your debt. At least find out what happened to her, find out who took her. I mean, I don't feel like this shifter was just stealing changelings for the fun of it. But I don't know."
I kind of like walk right up and grab her hand and like start stroking the top of it and say like, we will not rest until we find
Gendrix,
your
can you
friend."
stop?
She just,
Riven, I'm talking. And I'll just go back.
she just sort of looks at you.
He does this all the time.
Well, he is quite a charming fellow, Riven. I mean, he's
See, she finds me charming.
She didn't find you last night.
She finds me charming now, and that's all that matters.
she just looks at you and says, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
I'm just picturing him stroking her hand.
Alright. Just spitefully looking.
Okay.
And we'll head out. Are we ready to go now?
She would probably find you more charming if you brought her friend back.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Don't give him ideas, Genesis.
But that's at least a good idea.
I was just trying to help.
I mean, apart from that, there's more money to be made, I suppose. And we have the key.
We do.
So we could go right in the front door if we wished. However, I feel that may be a poor choice. But we could certainly do that.
It's been said, but it is an idea.
As they all head out the door, you are lagging behind, but she grabs your hand and says, "Please bring her back to me."
We will.
Thank you. And she heads off the other direction from where you guys, towards the harbor.
We head up to the airlift. Arcane lift.
Okay. Yep. You make your way just a few blocks away. It's a big round disc, probably about 20 feet in diameter. There's this cage of like the face of a clock, like 12 poles that this disc sits in the middle of, and you can see that they bristle with arcane energy. As you approach, there's a man standing in the center of the disc at sort of what appears to be a control console. Or no, he's on one side, and he looks at you and says, "You need to go up."
Yeah, yes, please. We're going to the warehouses.
Oh, of course. This will take you right to the stores. Jump on. It will be 3 copper apiece.
3 copper apiece. Yeah, I'll pull a couple of silver out.
Party fun!
Yeah, he sticks in a pouch. He says, "We've got 10 more minutes before we'll be heading up." So you wait for about several more. Like it fills up. You get the idea that they just go up and down every now and again, and it's you're not sure who gets the money, but someone does. But eventually it goes up, and you find yourself in stores. You exit the lift.
All right. I'll kind of get my bearings and like look at the streets and
Yeah, so
street signs or anything?
Yeah,
or-
there are street signs, and you can see that. So the stores is just it's a warehouse district. There's very few businesses. There are just lots and lots of warehouses, like storage, like so much so that even like the Reardran humanoids that live in Sarlona, which is one of the other continents, have like a place of like several blocks that's dedicated to stuff that they bring in from Sarlona. But it's tons of warehouses just stacked on top of each other in these massive towers.
Are there like storage wars that go on? Like they auction off stuff where people just don't pay?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
What's your profanity?
But yeah, you can see that the where they have numbers on the outside of them that look like addresses, and you can see like you look at a couple of them as you look at your key, and you're like, "Hey, we got a little ways to go." So you start kind of following the numbers, and they're easy enough to follow as you work your way through.
Easy enough to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we're working our way through.
Yeah, but eventually
Got a ways to go.
you turn into like an old rundown alleyway. No sunlight shines through. Storehouse ST134-32NTJ-17W sits in a row of dilapidated warehouses near the western edge of the stores. Stacked storehouses hang over the small alley, blocking out most of the sky, and a damp, nauseating stench of rot hangs heavily in the stagnant air. As you come to the front of this, if you want to pull up the battle map.
Scoop. Scoop.
Just put that one out of the way for now. And you guys are stood outside the door on the far end.
Okay.
And it's a double door that appears to have a large padlock on it.
Willie amount?
Sure.
You're like, I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Does it look like there are any like windows or?
Yeah, there is a second floor, and you do see like some of like those warehouse type windows from like Fallout, with some busted panes, but it appears they're fairly small. You could possibly enter through the windows.
I'm more concerned with trying to just get a peek inside, see if there's like a spot where I can.
Okay, yeah, I mean you see that there are like actually give me a perception check.
We benefited from a long rest, right? Dumb question.
You did, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a long rest last night.
Yes. All right, I'll take a 13.
13. Okay, you see there are like some barrels and crates and things that you could probably
Crates and
make a
barrels.
way to climb up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of climb up and
Okay.
take a look inside and just see if I see anything.
Yeah, the windows are pretty dusty, but you managed to clean off a spot, and there is inside just some big storage crates.
I have skulls on them.
That one goes over there. This one goes here. Once you get up and start looking inside, you gave me a perception check, right?
That was for to find the barrels.
Yeah, give me a perception check as you're looking through the windows.
8.
Okay, that's about what you see
Okay.
inside at this point. There are some little like dividing walls,
I see some crates and dividing walls, guys.
but that's about what you see. You do actually see with that.
That's about what we
Actually, with that
expected.
perception, that's about what you see
Okay.
at this point.
I don't see any movement.
We have the key. We could just go in through the front door.
So long as we don't act like we're being suspicious, like I am currently.
I mean, true.
Let's open up the door.
I'll pop it open.
Okay, so you stick the key in.
Mhm.
Give me a perception check.
Swing. Oh, this is perception. Swing. Scroll down. 11.
11. Okay, looks like a lot.
It looks like a lock as I stick the key in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's good to know.
click it.
Okay, you turn the key. The padlock opens. Okay, yeah, you're all standing like that. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeehaw.
Start it up.
Trying to find a good one here. Hold on.
Oh, we get to roll till we find a good one?
I wish.
All right, what do you got?
21.
11.
16.
8.
Okay, so you two fail. You two pass. If you pass, you're going to take half of this damage and not have any of the status conditions that I'm about to list off.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Otherwise, you will take the full damage and have all of the status conditions. Okay, so it's 7 points
Okay.
of thunder damage.
Oh shit.
As
Fuck
you hear
you,
this
thunder.
deafening blast of thunder come from the top where the two doors meet.
So I'm
about
assuming
8 feet above your
we're
head.
deafened.
Yes, if you've failed to save, you take 7 points of damage. You are knocked back 10 feet, knocked prone, and deafened for a minute.
Mwah.
If you
Mwah.
pass, you take half damage and have
Mwah.
no.
We were up front. That's the
Half
reason.
is 4 or 3?
3.
3.
And you have no conditions.
Haha.
Your ears ring for like a second, and then you're like, ugh.
I'm gonna turn around and look at the other two, like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
What did you say?
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Can you hear her? We kind of get up and like.
You're not mute.
That's all I hear. You probably just
I
hear-
would've
you
turned
just-
around
you
and
just
tried
hear
to
me
help one
yelling,
of them.
"Ma!"
Okay, I guess I'm going in.
Okay, yeah, the padlock is just
Did it-
from there.
Did it work?
So the padlock is unlocked or
Yep.
not?
Yep. It's unlocked.
Well, it looks unlocked, does it not?
He still can't hear you.
I'm just motioning towards the lock and like, I take the lock off the thing.
Okay, yeah. You failed to notice that it was also trapped.
Yeah. I guess I'll try to go in.
Yeah, you
You
open
know.
the door.
Fuck it.
You hear a very low.
Do I feel it?
No, yeah,
'Cause I can't
actually,
hear
yeah,
it.
you can sort of. Well, after about a minute, it wears off as you sort of start to look in, and you can hear. And as you open the door, you can see there's these two large eldritch engines
Oh shit.
in the back of the building, and you can see that they have this blue glow emanating from the back of them, and they're just making this thrumming type sound.
Brought to you by Changelings.
Does this like make us feel any kind of like weirdness or
In our
Who has
Changelings.
the device?
you
The
had
button?
last?
Oh,
Yeah, you have it.
I do. And I'll like pull it out.
Okay, what do you do? It? You do anything with
I
it?
kind of like look around for a minute. Can I would I know, like, by looking at this thing and the machinery, like, do I know anything about it? Or...
You can make an Arcana check.
You know, use that one.
Keep rolling out.
22.
You do not get the sense that the Eldritch machines that you see on the far side of the room and this device are linked in any way whatsoever.
I don't think they go
Other
together.
than they're both magic.
I'll hand it to you anyway.
And then hold it. What the fuck does this thing do?
I'm pretty sure
I'm gonna hit the button
it's
again.
just for
Okay, what are you pointing it at?
the wall.
I'm gonna point it at one of the walls.
Oh,
Okay.
I should have used it to begin with.
Yeah, you and a 6-foot diameter hole just appears in the wall that you pointed at.
I'm gonna walk through it, in and out, in and out, in
You
and
go
out.
in and out of the building from
I
the.
think that would have been useful before the trial.
Won't tell them that.
They can hear us now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. We can.
Maul.
It's
So with
just
your Arcana
stick the
check
key in.
as well, I'll go ahead and say you know that that's the pass wall spell.
Oh, okay.
Literally, you can look it up in the book. It's called pass wall.
Okay.
But she doesn't know how many uses or anything like that.
No, you'd have to identify it for that.
Alright.
We know we can use it at least once.
Yeah.
Don't know how many times Soot Cloud used it before he came to the brothel.
Right. Probably just
Probably
once.
put it away for like emergencies, just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna tuck it away.
Okay.
Probably just shouldn't use it running full blast without, until
I
we
mean,
know.
it's pass wall is like a 6th level spell.
Oh my.
Like it's a dope ass magic item.
Yeah, it's a heavy boy.
Running, poop. Running, poop. Running. Portal!
I'm gonna
Now you're thinking with portals.
mark that off my stuff.
All right, so I guess I'll kind of take a look around like the immediate entrance and see.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
8.
I will walk in behind him. Actually, I thought we already walked in.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Then I will stand there beside him.
Okay.
I will stand beside him. And seeing no immediate threat, because, yes, I'm going to walk around.
Okay.
Do I
I
see
guess you
anything above me? Like, are there
Yeah,
rafters?
there's a gantryway, like steel mesh bridges that go over your head, and you can see there are a couple of claws that look like it would pick up these big crates and move them around.
Oh, nice. But nobody's up there, right?
You don't.
That I see immediately.
Roll perception.
Give me that fat one again. No. 17, dirty 20.
No. You don't see any people looking up, but as you kind of look around, you do see, similar to what you saw below Kornberg, you see these metallic dogs just sort of walking around. They don't seem to be annoyed by you. But there, you can see there's like one over here behind the green crate. You see there's one that walks out around this orange or this red wall kind of thing. But they don't. There's these little metallic dogs, like about the size of a, maybe the size of a pit bull or something.
We have more dogs.
I'm running Sargilliums up in there.
Do I see if so I saw that here, right?
Up to where?
I guess up close enough to like where they would see him.
Okay, yeah. You see one of them sort of cock his head and just keep going about his business.
I'm gonna walk up here
Then I guess we'll keep walking it around.
to where I can see this and see what this is.
So you see what?
Sorry.
Okay, you see that there is
Whatever
a
this
door.
room is.
There's a door there.
Yeah, I want to walk towards that door.
Okay, yeah. You walk up to the door.
Are you coming inside?
I assume I've already been in there. I just haven't moved my mini. I've been walking with y'all.
I was like, I don't know where you were.
That's
Are
fine.
you coming in?
Yeah, I mean I've already done the past the wall thing, so
I just
I
didn't
don't
know where
fucked
you
up
did
that
it.
spell.
Shping. All right, yeah, I'm gonna walk over to this door
Okay.
and see what does I see. Does it got some windows on it?
Nope, it's just a solid wooden door.
I'm gonna
Kick it down. Yeah.
check and see if it's locked.
You jiggle the handle. It doesn't appear to be locked.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay, you open it.
Yeah.
Okay. Door opens.
What's inside?
This chamber appears to have been a foreman's office. Now the stench of wet hair and excrement befouls the space. A small pallet of dingy furs lays in one corner, and a shrine to some deity sits opposite. The shrine depicts a humanoid dog with 4 arms and 2 heads ripping into the flesh of humans.
Ooh.
That's disturbing.
As you make a cursory search of the room, you find 100 gold pieces, 150 silver pieces, and 500 copper pieces.
I will inform the bank of what I just found.
At that point, I'm gonna walk over here and see what this room is.
Okay, there is a door. You walk right by one of those dogs that just sort of regards you for a moment and then goes back to its path.
Alright, I'm gonna try to open up the door.
It opens.
I'm gonna go inside.
Okay. You see pipes and hoses and mechanical contraptions that all seem to run to a hole in the wall. You get the sense that they probably run out to the eldritch engines that are in the main room. You see this strange mechanical device that looks like, the pods that Master Chief sleeps in
Yeah.
before they wake him up in the first Halo game.
AirPods.
It looks kind of like that, but there's nothing inside of it, and it appears to be hollow and open. And there you can see there's all these cables and everything coming in. You can see the hum of the eldritch energy flowing into this device.
I'm gonna leave my head out the door. Genesis!
I'll go over there where
Okay.
she's at.
Sure.
You guys are over here.
Yeah.
You see the same thing in the room. There are tons of work tables in here. There's a small alchemy station. You can see there is one table that has a bottle of oil and a whetstone on it. But the biggest thing is this device, which you recognize as a device, or it's an eldritch engine called a binding chamber. You recognize this because you've used them before.
What the fuck is this?
It's a binding chamber.
They're used to take large objects that would be difficult to transport and make them small and put them in receptacles that are designed to make that magical energy last. They can be a bit finicky.
I'll repeat all of that back.
And then a little bit, yeah,
And
kind
I'm
of
sort of pointing at things as I talk about it. There's probably someone's chamber. There's an alchemy set over there. Probably maybe a study.
I guess at this time, I'll probably have made my way into their chamber.
Okay.
What the fuck is that? Oh, see. Well, we'll examine all the shit on the table.
Okay. Give me investigation or perception.
In restoration?
does it look like, if I walk back out there and look to see what these are connected to, does it look like anything that these things are particularly connected to?
Yeah, they're connected to these two. The cables run out of.
Well, I mean, like the generators themselves.
Yeah, they're connected to the big eldritch engines, which are the generator bits in the back here.
So, does the generator or engine, my bad, is the engine connected to anything, or is it just sitting there?
Like I said, there's this big trunk of cables runs from these engines into this room to the binding chamber.
Okay, so it runs, to the
Yeah,
binding
yeah.
chamber.
Yeah. And it runs to there are cables that branch off to other parts of the machinery that's in here, but a big chunk of the cables, you've probably never seen an eldritch engine before, so you have no idea what they are. You're like, what is all this crap?
Well, I'm just trying to see if I can trace where it actually connects.
Yeah, it goes from these big things to the bit that has all the colored dots on it is the binding chamber.
Nice.
I
I rolled a
want
9.
You rolled a 9.
9.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a workroom. There's a bunch of shit in here that you figure it might take you a little while to sift through.
I'm gonna go back out into the warehouse and look around these crates to see any one of them is open, or if I can open them.
Give me they're the blue one. I mean, they are what they look like. The blue one is open. The red one and the green one are not.
I'm gonna see if I can open the red one or the green one.
Okay. The green one appears to be sealed. The red one appears that you might be able to open the end of it.
I'm gonna try to open the end of
It's
the
empty.
empty,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna walk over to the blue one and see
Okay.
what's in the blue one.
Give me an investigation check.
So investigation, that's gonna be a straight 12.
12? Okay. That is enough to see this. There is stuck under the lip that has the door that is flopped down, is a folded up piece of parchment.
Oh, snap. I'm gonna walk over to the green one while she's reading that and see if there's like a lock somewhere on it.
You don't see one.
Okay.
I guess this whole time I'm kind of just looking at the stuff in that room and seeing if I can see like when the last time it was used was, or if I can feel like it was done recently.
You can tell that the binding chamber was used within the last 24 hours. No, last 48 hours, sorry.
Meanwhile, I'm talking out loud to myself, breeding?
Breeding? What have you got there?
A letter. And I just kind of like hand it to you.
I'll,
Let's all read it silently.
yeah, I'll start to read it aloud. Magus, does that name?
Magus?
Plans are proceeding well, but I need more samples if I am to unlock the mysteries that our master seeks. The common whores do yield quite a bit of the essence, but perhaps something more upscale is in order. Leave Sean's welcome behind. Perhaps Firelight has the breeding we need. You'll see more. You will need to be more careful, but the Open Maiden or the Trusted House may have what we seek. If you can keep that companion of yours in line, then Althenia's companions in Ambassador's Towers should be your mark. She has several specimens of excellent breeding, but the watch is heavy on Central. I've prepared several more receptacles for your use and stored them in a new spot. Down the entry shaft, FG287:4Y. Turn south of the second exit tunnel. Your Stonehouse key will open the gate. You know, I am due to play at the Open Maiden this evening.
As you say that, a mechanical voice from the front door says, "I don't believe you'll be making it to that
That's rather unfortunate, friend.
gig this evening." As you turn towards the door, you see two black-robed warforged. One of them has a long sword in his left hand and a wicked-looking club in his right hand, and he stands in front of the one who has, and he's just wearing like a black tunic. He stands in front of, protectively, the one who is speaking, who has a black hooded robe, and you can see that something begins to crackle around his hand, and that's where we're going to stop it.
Nice. I mean, not nice, but nice.
That is our game. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you enjoy what we're doing here, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/ordermarcana. $3 Patreon tiers get access to my session notes before the game, so you can follow along and see just how much these guys deviate from what I think they might do. So check it out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, play more Dungeons & Dragons.
Deuces.
Laters.